talking to us about the red car. Got the guy on the phone for over there.
Yeah.
The guy wanted to talk to Dad, so Dad talked to him, and then Dad was asking if Andy was around about the roof. He's like, oh yeah, it's Andy's birthday. I'm gonna meet him at Frankie's. So when we were done at the shop, we went over to Frankie's. Andy showed up, and then that was good. That was good. We'll get that done. Next couple of weeks, we'll be able to get that done. And Dad's not going on the roof.
No,
He doesn't
I
even-
don't think he should.
He doesn't even feel like it.
Yeah.
Andy and his guys are gonna go up there and do it. Dad will basically supervise from the ground. That's it.
Yeah.
Wanna go outside?
Okay, so here we are again. Perhaps for the final time with this game. I think we'll be able to get it done today. The rest of the game, believe it or not, isn't terribly long, even though it's weird because it feels like... No, you know what? I'll save that for my little dialogue at the beginning of the stream and throughout as we go. But basically, we'll probably be able to finish the game today. It might run us up to 3 hours, but probably be able to finish it. So, we'll watch the intro, and then we'll get going. Excuse me. Can't tell if I need this jacket or not. The cooler weather is finally coming to us, but inside it's still pretty good. Alright, we'll wait another minute, and then we'll get going. Hey, Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? We are just about to get started with what will probably be the final episode of Tools of Destruction. And then there'll be 1 down, 3 to go. Although 2 out of those 3 are fairly short. I think Quest for Booty will take us all of 1 stream, so that'll be done early next week. A Crack in Time is about as long as this game, and then Into the Nexus is about 2, maybe 3 streams long. So, really, this project won't take a terrible amount of time. It's just a matter of it being bisected by me getting my wisdom teeth out, and that'll make it take a little longer, unfortunately. But, what can you do? House sitting for the next few hours, the rest of the family is out. Oh, those are the best, Conker. Those are the best moments. I love my family, but like when the house is empty and you can just sit there in silence and do whatever you want. Oh my god, it's such a good feeling. Oh, enjoy it, my friend. It'll be good. Hopefully they didn't leave you too much work to do while they're out. It's fucking great. You know exactly what I'm talking about then. Oh man, that's funny. think I'm going to take this jacket off, actually, because now that the sun's out, it's warming the house a little bit more. Or maybe it's just because I'm sitting... Well, if I didn't have my curtains closed off so that it wasn't blinding me, I would be sitting directly in the sunlight, which is always a good thing. But, yeah. Alright, let me take a drink, and then we'll get going in the Ublick passage. Sounds like a Krogan name, if you ask me, but then again, this game came out, I think, just before the Krogan were even a thing. I mean, they were a glimmer in BioWare's eye, but they weren't actually a thing yet. Well, no, it's not true, because I think the first Mass Effect book came out before the first Mass Effect game, so maybe they were more than a glimmer in BioWare's eye. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's not what we're playing right now. We're playing this other space sci-fi game. So, to answer my question from last time, no, you do not get to, excuse me, even if you get a checkpoint later in the level, you do not get to start from that point in the level. You start from the beginning. Thankfully, the game did save my map progress, so now all of the enemies that are along the very small amount of way that we've actually made progress on will be relatively gone. There's only a few left that actually we need to deal with, and we'll figure that out as we go here. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Tools of Destruction, the Stream Edition, which may be the final episode today because we don't have that much left to go. It's like this planet and then like 3 other places to go. And last time, we had to follow Slag and his crew of scoundrels because they took the Dimensionator from us, but I decided in the interim since last time that I don't feel like getting the Dimensionator back from Slag. I'm just going to pack up my bags and go home.
And even if I
I'd rather be on Veldin
won't
anyway.
Get rid of me that easily. I paid for 2 months, so I am going to use the 2 months.
Lifeblood, sounds good. Thanks for subscribing. You have become monochromatic, and when you get your 2nd month, you'll be dichromatic. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. But yeah, instead of packing my bags and going home to Veldin, I'm actually going to go back to the Creeley Comet, because even if we got the Dimensionator back from Slag, we still don't know what it could be used for or how to dismantle the thing. So I'm going to go ask the Iris supercomputer if it knows anything more about the Dimensionator before we go tackle Slag and his crew of scoundrels. How about that? That lets me get this little bit of side content in the little stream right at the beginning, and then after that we'll come back and we'll deal with Slag. So, sound good? Hopefully, because that's what we're going to go do. Go back to the cold planet. Cold comet. Alright, let's go see what Space Google has to say about the Dimensionator there. How's it going, Lifeblood? Thanks for coming. Appreciate the subscription. Let's talk to Google and see what it knows. So, the Iris supercomputer, after you've talked to it about the Lombaxes, I think you can do this at any point in time after you talk to it about the Dimensionator, but there's a whole bunch of questions you can ask this thing. And some of them are just kind of one-word answers and not really all that worth the space, but some of them have interesting little bits of trivia, so I think those will be good to have. So let's have a chat with the computer. Where did the Lombaxes banish the Kragmites to?
The Kragmites have been locked away in Dimension X249. Marooned on a...
By the by, am I going to play Conker's Bad for a day? Maybe one day, Lifeblood. I've thought about it.
From the nearest life form. Current mood, angry and bored.
Well, that's just great. Yeah, I've thought about playing it one of these days. I've never played it myself, so I think it would be an interesting stream to have. I just need to make sure that it works on an N64 emulator, and I need to make sure I get a better computer that can actually run an N64 emulator at more than about 12 frames a second when I stream it. So, yeah, maybe one of these days once I get a more powerful computer. Where did the Lombaxes go after they banished the Kragmites?
I'm sorry. That data has been deleted from my memory banks.
Of course it has. Can you tell me about Max Apogee?
Max Apogee, famed explorer of the Polaris galaxy, discovered the Dimensionator using a Lombax artifact 8 cycles ago. and relocated it when the map was stolen by space pirates. Current status, missing.
So yeah, I actually thought that Max Apogee's adventures happened a while ago, but as it turns out, he only went missing about 8 years ago in universe, and so I would imagine that ship technology did in fact evolve to allow them to turn black holes into wormholes and use them to cross the universe. But yeah, so he only went missing about 8 years ago, and Talwyn, of course, has been distraught without him, but, well, you know, we'll figure that whole mess out later. Where do the space cards come from? Here's the little bit of trivia that I think is a little shoehorned in here. And the game never explicitly tells you this unless you come back here, so let's talk about it.
Captain Slug and his crew were engineered by Tachyon when he was just a child. Their purpose was to scavenge materials to be used for the Drophead's nanotech combat armor. When the Emperor completed his army, he abandoned the pirates on Praxis 7.
And I would imagine at that point they sort of said, "No, we can just do stuff for ourselves," but they still followed the directive that Tachyon gave them about hunting Lombaxes and hoarding their artifact. Did they think these pirates out at all? Did they just want to make a cool Thugs for Less reference from Going Commando, and then they just said, "Okay, this is good enough"? Like, it feels like they brained too hard about the space pirates, and they looped from having an interesting concept for just a villain that could be there, realistically, because there's pirates in every galaxy, to, this makes no fucking sense. I don't understand. It's just, whatever, moving on. Where did Krunk and Zephyr meet?
Lieutenant Commanders Krunk and Zephyr were stationed together at Zenith Outpost in Meridian City during the Phylax intrusion. Since then, they have fought together in 19 galactic wars, 3 interstellar battles, 1 planetary misunderstanding, and a lunar argument.
Did they throw the lunar argument at the planetary misunderstanding? Has a lot of explicit things in it, to say the least. Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind that part. So the remake was censored, so that's a no-go. If you did play it through, it'd probably take around 3 streams or so to beat it. Was that short, the N64 version? Yep. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think it'd be a long project, but I'll. Yeah, I still would consider playing it at some point. So we'll get there maybe one day. This one actually I think is pretty interesting. Where do the Grummels come from?
The Grummels are interstellar gypsies, copies of the last remaining Grummel in the universe. When his planet was destroyed, he sought to replenish his race, and ended up cloning them into stupidity. They now work for GrummelNet, the largest vendor emporium in the galaxy.
So, yeah, they basically... He was the only Grummel left. Again, we've got this whole last of the universe, last in their race, last in the universe through line with a lot of the different people that you meet in this game. You've got Talwyn, you've got Ratchet, you've got the Grummel guy, you've got Tachyon. And the Grummels, as it turns out, their cloning technology wasn't so great because every time they cloned them, their IQ went down. So now all the Grummels that you see in the universe are a clone of the last remaining one, but incredibly stupid. So they just run the Emporium, and I mean, I guess that's a success story. He definitely turned it around from his planet being destroyed, being the last of his race, to becoming the vendor of the largest shopping emporium in the entire Polaris galaxy. I'd take that. That's a pretty good way to go. Yeah, it is pretty short, yeah. Yeah, I have seen the memes of the Great Mighty Pooh. One day we'll listen to him sing in person, but until then, we'll just have to think about the memes. Hey, Marie, how's it going? Yeah, that's something to come in on. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're just thinking about Conker's Bad Fur Day here in chat for right now while we talk to the Iris supercomputer. We should probably see what's going on back in Solana, though. So what's happening on Kerwan?
Tachyon's army left Kerwan after combing the city for the Dimensionator.
Okay, well, that at least is good.
Under reconstruction, and its citizens are stuck watching Hollywood reruns of Big Al's Bot Wars.
And that's not so good. Okay, fair enough. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. We're starting to get into the Jeopardy trivia stuff, the Space Jeopardy trivia. What is Captain Quark's full name?
Captain Quark's full name is Copernicus Leslie Quark.
I could see why he'd want to shorten that. Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful for a superhero name. You're trying to make money in 14 making furniture. It's better than gardening looked. I don't know, a fireplace on my server sells for like 80,000 gil, and it's pretty easy to make, so I mean, I'd take that for like a level 30. I think a goldsmith makes, as weird as that sounds, I think a goldsmith makes a fireplace, so. Never played a Final Fantasy, I think you already said that. Well, if you ever get the urge to play one Lifeblood, I would say starting with either 1 or 4 would be the places where I'd start. They're both pretty user-friendly, pretty good for newcomers and beginners. And they've both got fairly simple mechanics that you can pick up pretty easily, and a pretty straightforward story. So, if you ever decide your FC won't promote you, so you don't have to give them a cut of your gardening profits, there you go. Now we're thinking with portals. Looking into Manor Harpsichords and Deluxe Manor Fireplaces, easy AF money. Yeah, I think the Deluxe Manor Fireplaces are the ones that are the 80,000 per fireplace on mine, so. Cold ingots, rosewood, lumber, fine wax, and manor varnish. Yeah, not too bad. Those materials aren't too bad to get. I mean, cobalt ingots are probably the hardest ones. Well, no, I guess that's about the same as the lumber. But you only need to be like a level 40-something, what would that be, blacksmith and carpenter to make those, so. Problem is the glaze nuts for the harpsichords. I don't even know what a glaze nut is, so that probably tells you how rare they are. Which character from the Ratchet & Clank universe once auditioned for Galactic Idol? This is a good trivia question.
Dr. Nefarious auditioned for the show with his ear-splitting rendition of Crashin' on Squishies, but was eliminated in the first round. His debut album, which sold only 1 copy,
and we know who bought it.
Torture prisoners at the Mestis penal colony on planet Ibarro.
Now that's good trivia. See, that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's some points in here where they make a really solid joke that makes a callback to previous games, and then sometimes it just is tachyon and it falls completely flat. What's the last number in pi, since Clank seemed to have that on his mind when we skipped over that in Going Commando?
6.
Oh, good, thanks. Fair enough. If a tree falls down and there's no one in the forest to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yes.
Thank you. That's the answer I was looking for anyway. Name one of Quark's aliases.
Quark's last known alias is Steve McQuark.
Yeah, I remember that one.
He's also been known as Stephen Quarkanopoulos, Finnegan O'Quarksalot, Walter Quarkowski, Herschel Quarkenstein, John Quincy Quark, Lucius von Quark, and Shirley Biggins. In
case you weren't aware, Shirley Biggins is his nurse alias. So when he did that phone call with the taxi guy backing up your arsenal, that was his nurse persona, was Shirley Biggins. And you don't need to be a brain surgeon to understand what the Biggins part is a reference to. It's a reference to the fun bags that he stuffed in his uniform to, bullshit the guy out of paying a taxi fare. Oh boy. It's a gardening thing. You have to crossbreed to get both them and blood peppers, and they both take 7 days to grow. Oh, Jesus, that sounds like gross. Ugh. Now that you think about it, I never really played an RPG except for Persona and the Mario and Luigi RPGs. Weird, could have sworn there were more. Well, you have a good pedigree of RPGs that you've played, though. Persona and the Mario and Luigi RPGs are both very solid RPG series. So, according to Big Al, what kind of hardware does Clank run on?
Standard XP88, Sisterboards version 7.66.
I don't know if that's a reference to something. I would imagine it probably is, but it could just be another one of those played straight answers, like these ones up here. What character from the Ratchet & Clank universe, I love how the restricted mark is next to it, in the game, not self-aware at all, are we, guys, is represented by only a set of eyes? We know the answer to this one, but it's still good trivia.
Slim Cognito, inmate number 829C at Zordon Prison.
Oh, you got locked up again?
Exposing his Class B grav cannon to a group of female Toonfoids during a rock concert in Meridian City.
God damn it, Slim. You just can't keep your grav cannon in your pants, can you? Oh, good lord. We already know this one. This one is not played for a joke, unfortunately, though, but we know the name of Clank's evil clone. Yeah, Clunk. Again, it seems like some of these, they could have cut them out because it's just these one-word answers that don't serve any purpose whatsoever. Yeah, we're doing the OK Google moment here, Rockin' Fun, absolutely. Hey Siri, how long does the Blargian Snagglebeast's allergy to mutant swamp flies last?
2 turns.
Oh, good. Well, at least they don't have to endure it for very long. That's in the that one chess-like game that they were playing at the beginning of... Was that in Up Your Arsenal, or was that... I feel like that was at the end of Going Commando. I don't remember
It might have been, I don't know.
It was one of those, so...
It was either Going Commando or Up Your Arsenal.
Yeah, it was one of those two, yeah. It's strange AF. Hey Siri, how do I get the Rhino for free? Oh, find all the HoloVid plans. Yeah, I looked that up. If you find all the HoloVid plans, you get this game's version of the Rhino, but don't worry about that. We don't need the Rhino to beat the final boss. No. Name the 2 Dread Zone broadcasters.
Dallas and Juanita.
Not played for a joke, but I find it kind of funny that the computer decided to pronounce the in Juanita's name. But whatever. Name Dr. Nefarious' accomplice.
Lawrence.
We don't get to know what happened to him. Of course we don't.
No.
And last but not least, this one is good trivia. What planet is Scrunch from? And we know the answer to this already because we've played Up Your Arsenal, but let's take a look anyway.
Scrunch is from the jungles of Florana and attended the Kerwin School of Quantum Mechanics in Metropolis.
Oh, he finally got his degree. Good for that guy. I always told him to go back to school. Okay, well, that's all we've got for the supercomputer, so I just wanted to throw that stuff in because some people don't actually go back and look at this stuff, and again, other than the Space Pirates thing, I think it's a pretty good addition. The Space Pirates part where Tachyon built them, I think, could have been an interesting lore point, but it just feels too, like, ham-fisted into the plot, and then they never do anything with it. So it almost feels like the developers thought of that plot point and then, like, scrapped it, but then still included it in the game as if they didn't scrap it. It's just weird. I don't know. Depends on how long 2 turns take. Yeah, I guess that's true. It depends on how long 2 turns are in that galactic chess game we were playing before. They were interesting questions. Yeah, and like I said, it's just a bit of trivia. You're pretty much just asking the developers, hey, what was your thought process on this and this and this? So. And of course, some of them were better than others. I'm looking at you, one-word answers, other than the tree falling in a forest and no one around to hear it one. That one's just the developers agreeing with me. Anyway. So yeah, some of Slag's minions have respawned, but it's fine. We'll just take care of them. It's no big deal.
What can we do?
Now, I think what I'm actually going to do is I did not focus on upgrading the Magnet Launcher's Raritanium upgrades last time, because we kind of looked at it and I said, I think I'll do this first and then this. I think I'm actually going to focus on getting the Raritanium upgrades for the Magnet Launcher first, because, well, if I get the Raritanium upgrades, then I'll be able to get all the Raritanium I need to get the other upgrades. So I think that would be a fairly decent plan. At least it seems to be a decent plan in my head. Okay, hello. That's not good. Oh, okay. I guess they blew up somehow. Imagine that! Okay. Well, anyway, we gotta put the bridge back down, and just like that, we're back where we were in the level, but before we go back over the bridge and fight this giant group of crazy space pirates that are over there, well, we should deal with these guys first, but after that, well, we'll figure it out. Ooh, did the explosion hit both of them? Oh, nice. Nice, that was fairly close to not hitting both of them, but it works. But yeah, you'll notice above us there's a zipline of some kind. Where's zipline go? It goes past this secret passage. Yeah, the little Magna Boots section here is a little bit hidden, so you gotta kind of pay a little bit of attention, keep your eyes peeled for this other hollow plan. So.
Hey, amigo, you're halfway there. Now, I gotta admit, I'm mighty curious to see what weapon was so dangerous they tore up the plans to it. Guess we'll find out soon enough, huh?
I don't know if we'll find out soon enough. I don't think I'm gonna actually bother with completing this plan, so...
Yeah. I don't think you ever have.
No, I don't think I ever have either, but again, we won't need... It's the Rhino. Like, if you look at the inventory screen and you look at the plan, like... I mean, it's a gun, so the only gun that we would be missing at this point would be the Rhino. So, but I don't think I'm gonna bother with it, honestly. It's just kind of something that... I mean, you could complete it if you wanted to, but I don't personally feel it strict necessity to do so. I do, however, feel a strict necessity to go up here and get a whole bunch more Raritanium. So that's what I'm going to do. And there's a gold bolt up there, but who the fuck cares about the gold bolt? I just want the Raritanium, man.
Yeah.
That was a trick shot. Yeah, the backflip with the missile launcher shot. Yeah, it's just, I've done a few of those in my day. I'd like to believe I'm pretty slick. Alright, let's go back now. Oh, you know, I could have done it from up there to use the zip line. Hang on, I'll show you the zip line. I'm not in that much of a hurry. Can let this fancy pirate music play out. Oh, I almost forgot, actually. We've been using the helipack the whole game, but if we actually go to the gadgets and we stick the thruster pack on, it makes the long jump look less jank. See? A little bit quicker. A little bit less janky looking than it did before, so... I don't know. I think I might hold on to the thruster pack for a little bit. Let's see. We got Pyroblaster. I'm going to Toxic Swarmers as well. We'll have enough time to get the Magnet Launcher some experience. We'll have enough time to get the Negotiator some experience later on, so don't worry about that too much. The sequence is quite literally the definition of half-miss potential. I mean, pretty much, yeah. The fourth wall break is missing there, though. That's true. They probably could have. Of course, it makes a sound. Not confirming it doesn't mean the tree falling is silent. The trivias are great, but most of the questions are just like one word or a name drop, or both, like clunk. But when you do get trivia, it's neat. Yeah, exactly. So it's neat when you get it, but when you don't get it, it's like, okay, I don't know. Come on, guys. You could have done better than that. So this is practically done except for this, and I don't have enough to get either one right now. So I guess we'll start upgrading the Raritanium on the Magnet Launcher. Like I said, it'll come in handy for the large enemies that we use this on. So, yeah, that was not quite. We're not quite going to have enough to get it all the way up just yet, but that'll be where we prioritize our upgrades to start with for now. So, and actually, I probably should use the Magnet Launcher to start with here, and then I'll stick the Pyroblaster out for a little later. Or just, you know, get hit by them and die. That works too. Oop. That guy did not die. That's fine. Yeah, just get a little extra experience for the Magnet Launcher. Never hurts. There's definitely going to be a big guy coming out of this hole in a second, because I just saw a cannonball come out of here. Yeah, here we go. Alright, let's get some Toxic Swarmers going. We'll let him do his thing while I negotiate with him. Oops. Shot that a little at the wrong time. Now, as you go along here, well, he'll fire out more cannonballs, but he'll also have these shield guys. As you'll notice, you can use the Magnet Launcher, kind of like the Shock Ravager, to prevent them from using their shields, so that's not too bad. Comes in pretty handy. I don't think this guy can be Magnet Launchered, though, because of his position
I don't think
up there, so... Now, if you don't take care of the... If you don't take care of the pirates, obviously things will get a little out of hand eventually, because they'll just start having a bazillion of them out here, but that's okay. We'll just do this. I'll hide back here so I don't get smashed by all the bowling balls. Like that, almost. Like that. There you go. Camera, I need you to stop auto-turning every time you hit a box, please. I'm turning you in a specific direction for a very specific reason, and you need to stop it. Alright, these guys are electrified, so we'll just backpedal slowly. Ow. While taking care of them until they do exactly what that guy just did, by intercepting me. That looks right for a Negotiator explosion, but I don't have it, so I guess I'll just do this. There we go. Easy as that. Yeah, if your Pyroblaster isn't quite V3, almost V4 yet, don't worry about it too much. We'll have plenty of time to get it, plenty of experience. And we'll want it to be as high of a level as we can get it, because, well, it'll come in pretty handy in the final boss fight. So. That's only halfway. It's got to be a devastating weapon that you won't use. The Rhino, yeah, it's pretty powerful from what I understand. I just, yeah, not planning on collecting everything. It's just not... I mean, I'd use it for, like, one fight, right? And I'd use it against the final boss, which is going to be Tachyon. I don't think that's a spoiler.
We must keep going. Maybe we should follow.
Oh, okay. He killed that guy.
the
That's fine.
smell of stale grog.
Probably a good idea. I mean, that's probably where I'd be if I was a pirate in Slag's ship. I'd also have a V4 Pyroblaster. Perfect. Well, there goes the Raritanium again. Stuff really rockets when it hits the basement of the the level floor. Grab a little more of this. We're up to 3,500 now. That's good. You're revisiting some channels from your past, and do you guys know Glitch City? You do not. They make really good remixes from mainly Pokemon music, and they're godlike. I think I have a couple of Glitch City remixes in my sights and sounds over on my channel, so I think the name seems familiar anyway, so I've probably seen them from somewhere.
Will consist of ballroom dancing, ice sculpting, and Jargonian needle torture.
It's like the reverse of murder, arson, and jaywalking. Good lord. Alright, what's on the other side of this? Nothing. It's an invisible plot wall. Gotta love when that happens. Alright, well, you need more negotiator shots so I can keep negotiating with these
If
guys.
you're only commando, you can just go around them. If you knew how to do
But
it.
let's just magnet a couple of them. Seems like a good idea. And then we'll just start zapping them. Whoever's left, that is.
Those invisible plot walls, if you're only commando, you can get around them.
Yeah, because they weren't actually invisible plot walls in Going Commando because the whole level was accessible. So you could just kind of go from there.
You just had
This
no
is
hard-
gonna suck. Hold on. There we go.
Some of them you had to glitch through, but that wasn't.
Oh yeah, you could glitch through them in that one, but oftentimes the invisible walls in the older games made for very effective speedrunning tactics.
They did.
So,
Weapon shop. Which weapon do you want to upgrade?
all right, we got 3705. I say we finish off the negotiator, and then we can go from there. The napalm cells on it actually aren't all that good. I remembered what they exactly did. It would be good if it left the puddles directly at the feet of the enemy that you shoot with the missile, but it explodes outward, kind of like the mini bouncers from the fusion bomb. So, I mean, I guess it's good as an area of effect type of miniature crowd control when you've got a lot of little enemies, but that's not what this weapon is used for. It's used for fighting large enemies because it's a missile launcher, so of course it's going to do a lot of damage, so...
Bada bing, bada
Not a big fan of it. We're going to get it anyway, but we'll save it for last, and then we'll work on the magnet launcher after that. So, alright, so now more helipods. And let's get, let's get the toxic swarmers out. Let's get the negotiator out. That seems like a good idea. Because we got an on-rails section. I feel like someday you'll hear over these announcements that the Boy Scouts are there and want to sell some cookies. I mean, probably. Wouldn't be entirely out of the ordinary for Ratchet and Clank.
Incoming enemy fire.
Yes, I see that. So now we got to destroy the cannons, and I'm going to use the toxic swarmers to help me with that. Because in addition to the cannons, you've also got to deal with these guys. So we're going to deal with
Ratchet,
them.
we need to disable those cannons.
Yes, Clank, they're shooting at me. I think I understand how to proceed with the level. Thank you. So now a few of the pirates will just kind of hang out until you get to the next on-rails section. They'll teleport in like this, so... Plenty of opportunity to get more Pyroblaster and Magnet Launcher experience, so that's what we're going to do. Because we won't be using either one of them to destroy the cannons on the thing, so we might as well use them now.
What level's your Pyroblaster?
Oh, it's V4.
Oh, it's all.
It's getting there.
It's almost there.
Let's see, is that it for those? Yep. There we go. And you get some free ammo after the second wave there, so that's nice. Oh, hello. I'm just going to run this thing out of ammo for a little bit. Seems like a good idea. Just to get it some extra experience till I can't do it no more, kind of similar to what we were doing with the Alpha Disruptor for a while. So. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the Magnet Launcher gets additional experience when you leave it out on the enemies, but I would imagine it might, because it seems like it wasn't getting a whole ton before. So, I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. Alright, let's negotiate
It
with
might
them.
just level up slowly.
Excuse me, I meant to let the auto-targeting fuck itself over. There we go. It's always fun. Oh, Toxic Swarmers got the other cannon by themselves. Good. See if we can get this thing to V3. Probably the Negotiator is the hardest weapon to get to V5 because it's got low-ish ammo and it isn't as powerful as the Alpha Disruptor was, so it doesn't one-shot anything, especially this late in the game. So, I mean, it one-shots small enemies, and it one-shots most of the medium enemies, too, but it doesn't one-shot the enemies that give you the most experience, so. But we're almost V3. This is almost V2. We're about to get it to V3 because of these guys. There we go. Easy as that. Yeah, the classic destroy the gun equals destroy the vehicle or not. I mean, it disabled the vehicle, so that's close enough. Okay, so we got another pirate door. And we also have enough bolts now to where I don't have to worry about ever getting bolts again in the game, because I have enough bolts now to purchase the final armor that I'm going to purchase, and we don't need to buy any weapons ever again. So, yeah. Almost got enough raritanium. That's going to be the last thing we really need to worry about, so.
Dance the jig and celebrate your...
Can't believe you're already at Quest for Booty. You're going fast, man. Yeah, I know. These games are going by quick. Funny thing is Quest for Booty will probably only take us like one stream. So, I don't need the prompt every time game. Oh, by the way, you can hold the button for a little while, and it'll let you keep dancing in that direction, which is probably more realistic, so. Like, if you keep rolling the stick like that, or you keep holding up or left, it'll let you continue to do it for a little bit, so. Well, thank you, because I am a landlubber. So that's just about the highest compliment a pirate could give me. Alright. Let's just take care of that guy for you. Is that a turret he was on? I think it is. I also like their little thing they tell you when they're talking about how we've got the magnet launcher. They're like, cover your bolts, lads! Like I'm going to shoot them in the crotch with it. I mean, to be fair. It probably is electrocuting their crotches, which is not fun in any capacity. But, you know. Oop, that didn't work. There we go. Let's just go right down the line. And get a V2 magnet launcher. Nice. Let's just grab these before my bonus runs out, and I'll get the... Well, I was going to say I'll get the extra nanotech, but, well... That guy just rained on my parade, didn't he? It's okay, though. Because there's a vendor coming up, like, really close by, so I'm not really too concerned. I don't know, though. The Negotiator's getting pretty decent experience out of these guys. Probably because they're late-game enemies. Usually that assists with getting a lot of extra stuff from them. So the door to the boss is actually over there. You might think, oh, that's just a side area because, I mean, it's small, so you'd think that might be the main thing that we're looking for. But in reality, no, that's the boss fight, so we'll go there in a second. But first, memes aside, you would need to replay Quest for Booty one day. It's the only one of the series you only played through once and you kind of didn't understand why it exists. I'm glad I'm not the only one who barely understands why Quest for Booty exists. Because that's going to be the main question that I have for the game when we play it, is why does this exist? But we'll get to why that is in a little while, so. Excuse me, get more raritanium, there we go. Get some nanotech, let's go on this other Magna Boots section. I'm going to keep calling them Magna Boots. I know they're gravity boots, but I'm used to the Going Commando name.
Yeah, me too.
You know, what can I say?
Weren't they called Magna Boots in my Paris? I don't know.
They might have been. I forget if they were...
Or were they...
I think they were gravity boots
Gravity
in the first game, so they were gravity boots in the third game because it was the same galaxy. And then in Bogon, they were the Magna boots, I think. I think that's how it works.
I have to look it up, but I'm too lazy.
Actually, before I go do what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to go unlock the door over here. Well, no, because I think that opens up the boss fight, so I don't think I want to do that just yet.
Yeah, finish this area off.
What I was going to do is, okay, so you've got a gyrocycle section here, which is where most of that little section is there. There's a couple of little hidden areas, too. But you'll also notice that there's a ship, like, directly over here, and as it turns out, it's right down there. But don't try to float down there because, well, if you do, you get killed. There's a death pit, like, within 5 feet below me from this platform, and you can't actually go down there as far as I'm aware. So don't do that. Oh, hang on. Going back to that one guy who cloned himself and got stupider with each time reminds you of Fallout 1 with the mutants for some reason. Yeah, I feel like cloning was a thing in the first couple of Fallout games, wasn't it, with the super mutants? I don't remember.
I can't remember either. I didn't play the first two.
Yeah, I didn't play the first two Fallouts, so I
played 3
couldn't
or
really.
4.
Me personally, I've only played part of 4, so the Fallout universe is one of those universes I don't know a whole lot about.
I played 3 and most of 4. I haven't beaten 4 yet.
Can't even remember if there was anything in that was relevant to A Crack in Time. I think the only thing in Quest for Booty that's relevant to A Crack in Time is the one cutscene that sets up the beginning of A Crack in Time. And it feels like... Okay, so this is going to be my main gripe with Quest for Booty, so spoilers for probably the next stream when we see this complaint, but it feels like the cutscene that sets up the beginning of A Crack in Time could have just been a post-credit scene in Tools of Destruction, and they could have skipped the entirety of Quest for Booty. Like, I don't understand why it's there. Alright, hang on.
Again. Take a hint, mate. Pirates only.
Hey, he said something new. Yeah, I'll take a hint, sorry. Okay, I'm a pirate now. Can I pass? Yar.
Only a true pirate may pass. Dance the jig and prove your worth.
I think this is the last of the dancing minigames, and they're still giving me the prompt. Oh well.
To the sky! To your left! To the sky! Shake your booty! To the sky!
And I think you can mess up a certain number of times in this too, and they'll still let you pass, but... I mean, I guess it makes sense. If you're always drunk, you wouldn't always remember the proper stuff, so... But we got it, so... Yeah, it does set up right directly into the boss fight. Okay. Does it? It's got a lot of air in his robotic lungs. Why do you even need it anyway? You don't follow Tachyon's orders anymore.
We'll teach you to meddle in the affairs of Corsairs. That's a good one, Captain. You made a rhyme.
Shut up, Pete.
Aye, Captain, shutting up. Ready?
I don't know, I think I would have... That was, I mean, that was the joke. I guess that's why he's saying shut up, because that was the joke, but... I don't know, I think they're gonna be dining on scrap metal instead. You wouldn't begrudge an old pirate his booty, now would you? No, he definitely would, so we're gonna have to get the big guns out for this one. Okay, so Slag's main attack are these little boomerang looking things that he'll shoot at you. You can shoot them back by shooting them, so just kind of stop what you're doing and shoot them, and that'll work pretty good. This, however, will not work good because he's gonna start using literal flamethrowers against you. So
The boss fight looks really easy so far.
it's not too bad. It's, I mean, if he hits you like 3 or 4 times, you're dead, but other than that. Toxic Swarmers work really well against him, as you'd expect. You guys could stop wasting your ammo, though. He's not taking any damage right now. Right. Well, anyway, in between every 25% of his health, you have to deal with more pirates, so we'll don't do that. Just blast them with the Pyro Blaster and get a bunch of Raritanium out of them. Or as much as we can, anyway. Alright, let's slide that right there. Have one of those. I can't really tell if those are hitting him after you hit them back towards him. I don't think so, but, I mean, anything's possible, I guess. Oop, okay, I think I hit one of them with the rocket. Oh no, he's doing it again. I like the Pyro Blaster for this fight, just because you don't have to interrupt your other guns to use it. So. Ruined by what? He's using it against me, Pete. Come on now. You wouldn't begrudge a pirate captain his grog, would you?
Lads, get in here and cut this rotten creature.
Alright. Let's use a little bit of magnet launcher as well, because, why not? I mean, it still needs experience, so we might as well. See how many nets we can get in here. Here comes the big one! Steady, boy!
Come get your precious Dimensionator.
Let's try to pick up the Raritanium while we're at it. I risk getting hit with a melee attack every time I do this, but... oh well, that's fine. I'm actually going to switch now, though, because I might need those last 10 ammo. I dig the, I don't know, the pirate themes I always thought were pretty solid, though, in this game. Like, I think they did a pretty good job with them, so. Well, I'm out of toxic swarmers, so let's hope this doesn't last too much longer. See, there's the melee attack that he can do right there. I think he's going away now, though. Like, he's going to have the lads come back and fight, so.
Pete, get in here and help, you yellow swine.
Oh, Pete's going to help him fight. Oh, never mind. But, Captain, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Alright, well, we're out of magnet launcher and toxic swarmers now, too. I guess I'll just use my last negotiator rocket and then proceed to burninate. Okay. The hell away from me, Slag. Oh, he's got a big... whoa, okay. Was I that low on health? I didn't feel like I was that low on health. Okay.
I didn't feel like you were either.
Well, anyway, they give you a checkpoint right here, so now I can show you what actually happens if you try to go to that one ship over there, so...
Which weapon do you want to upgrade?
Let's see what we got here. How are robots drunk? They're drunk on oil. Something like that, yeah. I don't know what robot grog would be, but it's probably similar to the robot drugs that Clank took at the beginning of the game off-screen, like where they're nanotech-based. Thought that would have been more fun to watch. Yeah, I know. You're conflicted on this, dude? Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. You don't like the whole pirate thing in this game, but his design is pretty damn cool. And I think he could have been cooler if his... I don't think his origin story was necessary, I guess, with Tachyon making him. And I think that could be a cool origin point, but... I don't know, it just feels like it throws too much of a monkey wrench into the pirates, and... Well, I think I'm thinking forward with it, too, because, like, in Quest for Booty, basically, after we beat Slag, there's going to be some character development, minor, but still there, for the pirates, and it just feels like they throw it out the window in Quest for Booty. Sorry for spoiling that 2 seconds ahead of time, but it does. Anyway, this is what happens if you try to go down here. Yeah, so you can't get to that. You can't get to that ship that very conveniently looks like you could get to it on the map, and also there's a little chunk of it that's explored over there. Excuse me, Tools of Destruction, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't get that either.
You've been gathering the entire time you've been streaming, and then some. You better be able to rip people off while undercutting the Horde player market. This is a lot of effort. Oil could normally be their water, that's true. Yeah, I don't know what they're drunk off of. Again, I would say it's probably like nanotech based if I had to guess. To take their money. Still need another 38 fleece. End me. I'm so sick of murdering sheep. Oh boy, RNG says murder more sheep. It was hella random freeze and you love it. Also get yourself to be the richest person on the server. There you go. Also one thing with it. Tell me while I go back to the boss fight. I might use the alpha cannon this time because then I can end that last phase before the guy comes out and destroys me. So, seems like a good idea. Alright, Pyroblaster, Toxic Swarmers, off we go. Come on, Slag! Round 2! Oh, we got a little, we got a little bit of experience, though, for the Pyroblasters. That's not bad. Okay. If I can keep him melee attacking, I guess that wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know if he summons his minion if you keep him melee attacking, so... And actually, I'm going to do this real quick as well. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, it doesn't look like it shoots it back at him. It looks like it just erases the shot, so that's fine, I guess. No big deal. Someone else is killing sheep in your normal spot. You're competing for kills again. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's always fun. Alright, lads, come on. Have a net. I'm going fishing. Just gonna stand back here while he burninates the people. Oop, okay. Oh, okay. What was that for? Did he run me over? Oh no, I must have hit his body because he's electrified, as you can see. By, well, his body. So. You know what must have happened is I must have taken like 2 hits. Because you take 3 hits, 4 hits in this boss fight and you're dead. So I must have taken 2 hits somewhere else, and when the guy ran me over, that must have been what was... It must have been enough to do it, so... I mean, whatever. It's fine, I guess. But once we get Slag, we'll probably get a decent chunk of experience for all these guns that we're using, so that's not bad. Let's see here. You get why people don't gather... challenge them to a duel, yeah. Get why people don't gather a craft, but it kind of saves so much money, it's not even funny. There's a jacket you wanted to buy yesterday. It was almost 400k on your server. If you had Shadowbringers, you could make it yourself and save almost 400k. Well, there you go, yeah, see. It's nice to have it, but I don't know. I feel like people are like, well, there's not really a... I don't know. I feel like people don't like it because it's not as... I was going to say interactive, but I think the little puzzle that crafting provides for the game, I think it is pretty interactive. It's a nice little break in the combat of the game, but, you know. How are your stances to the typical summoner boss fights? In terms of, like, the summoning minions against you, like how Slag is doing this? I mean, I don't mind it. It's a design choice, I guess. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, though. Like, where he summons minions to fight you in the middle of the fight. I don't know. I feel like you could save time and effort by just having the boss have different tactics over the course of the fight, but what do I know? I'm not a game designer. Do I Alpha Cannon now? I think I'm an Alpha Cannon now to start with. Oh, yeah. That's going to make a huge difference. Because that just saved us, like, an entire phase. Again, if anybody tells you the Alpha Cannon is not busted, they're wrong. I think Pete wants to be the captain based on how much he's bossing people around. Alright, final little bit of Toxic Swarmers. Let's get the Alpha Cannon back out. And, okay, that was a melee attack. There we go. So now we can just do this. Steve, if you need to go to the bathroom, please do it.
I'm sorry. I just went.
Okay.
Before I took the dog out, so...
Okay, gotcha.
Tis beautiful, Pete. A bright light at the end of me dark tunnel. Oh, wenches, as far as the eye can see. Each with a pint of grog and a smile for old fag. Fare thee well, cruel galaxy. Fare thee well. Captain?
And I think that could have been a little bit engaging of a death.
No! Why?
I don't think I'd be overreacting as much as Pete is about it, but I don't know. Maybe if he was less one-dimensional.
Now that you're our new captain, you'll be needing one of them gimmicky pirate names. Red Pirate Ratchet, perhaps?
Whoa. I'm your new captain?
Tachyon programmed that into your AI?
Thanks.
Why?
I'd rather have the Dimensionator.
Oh god, it's one of those electrified guys behind us.
We cannot allow it to be used even once. It is too dangerous.
I see. No way the Lombaxes could have invented something useful.
It is not
I mean, this was a weapon of war, Ratchet. It's not a matter of it being useful, it's a matter of them being desperate.
You know, ever since the rocket sled, you've been nothing but a giant pain in my...
Oh, hi, Captain Quark.
Quark, what are you doing here?
Showing the universe that I'm a superhero.
Why?
Also fighting the mother of all wedgies, but mostly the superhero thing.
Quark, put down the Dimensionator.
I shall now emblazon my name in the annals of galactic history by hurling this infernal contraption into a black hole.
And just like that, all Quark's character development since the end of Going Commando has gone out the window. Thanks, Tools of Destruction, real cool!
The Cragmite homeworld, Captain. Grog?
Yes, Pete, get me some fucking grog, because I'm going to need it.
By accessing Krog's comm unit.
Okay, tell him to meet us outside the planet's stratosphere. Come on, we need to get back to Aphelion.
So Quark just took one of those one-way transport ships that we took at the beginning of the game, right? And it's going to the Cragmite homeworld. You know, the only possible place the Tachyon could have been hiding out and, you know, stewing this entire time about how he's not relevant to the plot until just now. I feel like I need to go over to my desk off screen and just smash my hand against it to pretend like I'm head desking the whole time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go do that. Excuse me. There. I feel better. Like, come on, Captain Quark. Why? You got better character development and up your arse though, so this shit wouldn't happen anymore. Why did you revert? Come on now. Why wasn't Slag the main antagonist? I think it would have been more interesting if Slag was the main antagonist, because, like, again, Tachyon hasn't been relevant for the entire plot so far. Like, he was relevant at the very beginning, and that's it. And then now he'll be relevant again because Quark is about to give him the Dimensionator by accident. We got the treasure mapper, by the way. Too bad, again, I don't particularly care for the gold bolts in this game. Or the hollow plans, but, you know, it's fine. This dumbass is going to end this universe. Oh, I know. And again, I wish he wouldn't, because it feels like he's regressed in his character development to pre-up your arsenal. Come on now. The type of summon or boss fight that only summons minions and nothing else. Oh yeah, those are kind of anticlimactic. I'd agree with Marie on that one, yeah. Typical superhero. Time to find some strong booze. Oh, this playthrough's going fine. Needs some rum. I don't know if you need a better story or a smoother wall. I would prefer both. Yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. So. Oh, and good. The Kragmite homeworld is called Planet Repor. Boy, that's not completely ominous. Planet Repor was once the capital of the Great Kragmite Empire. The Kragmites wiped out over a dozen races and decimated countless others at the pinnacle of their empire's rule. Percival Tachyon's empire, by comparison, is the merest shadow of the invincible power the Kragmite race once held. See, even here, they're throwing him under the bus. Like, how do you expect your villain to be even remotely threatening if you throw him under the bus the whole time like this? That being said, I think Planet Repor had the potential to be one of the best planets in the future tetralogy because of what they do with it once you reach the end of it, or what you think is the end of it. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. But first we got to get there, and we got to go through the Kragmite ruins to get there, so... Don't get why he suddenly wants to be a superhero again. Dude, what happened to you? Wait, in the name of the story's writing, how did the Lombax get all the Kragmites together and teleport them to another dimension? I mean, the planet is still here, the Kragmites aren't. How? I don't know. If I had to guess... Oh, by the way, Aphelian's talking again. They seem to have remembered that she exists now, if only for a brief moment. I would assume it has something to do with the Kragmites all being in the same place warring with the Lombaxes, and so they just teleported all of them, and then they conducted other, like, Splinter Cell operations to take the last of the Kragmites and dimensionate them to the same place. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of over Tools of Destruction's story. It had the potential to be good, like, 8 planets ago, and then it just sort of stopped. I almost just fell off. Oh, man. Okay. So we got a whole bunch of different Drawfids here. We got ones with shields. We got ones with just guns. That was one that I could have done something to. If you don't want to use the magnet launcher, by the way, you don't have to. You could just walk around behind their shields, and that works equally as well. So anyway, we got to conduct a joint operation with Kronk, Zephyr, and Talwyn to get into the Kragmite homeworld and recover the Dimensionator. Ideally, after we rescue Quark from his own dumbassery. Something is shooting at me. Oh, that guy's shooting at me. So these guys give a pretty large chunk of experience, so if you're still struggling to get enough experience together to get your magnet launcher and negotiator fully upgraded, don't worry about it, because, well, you can trap them in a magnet and then just shoot them over and over again until they explode, and, well, you'll get a decent chunk of experience. And also, if you're concerned about your ammo, don't be, because there's actually an ammo vendor, like, not very far away from here. I'll even show you. Hang on. Well, there's recovering ammo right here, so you'll get a consistent ammo supply from these vendors right here. So you don't even have to go buy it, but in the event that you want to, there is an ammo vendor directly behind us. There's also an armor vendor, but we'll go to the armor vendor later when the game slows down a little bit and decides to stop having us be in an all-out war here. It'll happen, just not yet. Oh, okay. So we'll go back and grab some ammo. Friendly fire, by the way, cannot harm you, so don't worry about it if you're running directly towards Kronk, Zephyr, and Talwyn's shots. It doesn't work like that, so... I should probably be saving the magnets because I'm going to need them for these guys. Okay, that's fine. I'll take care of them one at a time. Yeah, we'll just negotiate. I'm glad that didn't hit the little Drawfid, because that would have been a severe waste of ammo. And I think I'm just going to Alpha Cannon this guy to death. Yeah, that works pretty good. Once you run out of Negotiator bullets, I mean, the Alpha Cannon's kind of your go-to. It decimates everything, so yeah. Apparently this even works on flying enemies, which is not something that typically happens with these sorts of weapons, where they can kind of hold enemies in place. So, take advantage of it as best you can. I'm getting some Meritanium, more dropships. I'm going to need to actually go buy some ammo in a minute. Not that that's really all that concerning, considering we get a bunch of experience in ammo, and bolts, and a V3 magnet launcher. So that's pretty good. We're not quite at V5 on this thing yet, though, are we? No, not yet. Well, we'll get closer when we fight these shielded guys there. So. And that's the part about flanking them. I mean, flanking is good in pretty much any video game with guns in it, but if you flank those guys, well, then Kronk Zephyr and Talwyn can shoot them to death, and you'll still get some experience for it, so.
What can we do you for?
Reaper sounds really harmless if you cannot spell Reaper. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Wouldn't that result in a lot of friendly fire? It's been 8 planets. Damn. I mean, it's 8 planets was just an arbitrary number that I came up with off the top of my head. I don't know if it's actually been 8 planets, but that's how much I would imagine it's been. Wish your bolts weren't being added in reverse. You keep getting your wallet back, so the game gives you bolts from pickup, but then it gives you your cache of bolts back. I hate it. Yeah, I don't understand why it's doing that either, but I wish it would stop. Alright, let's magnet these guys and jump away from that. Start negotiating again. Maybe one day I'll be able to be judge, jury, and executioner. Ow. Guy didn't like my joke. Sir, you have no taste. Nice. Oh boy.
Ratchet, did you hear that? He's somewhere inside the stronghold. If
Yep, must be.
those gunnery outposts, we can use them to take out the force field.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, we can get inside of the gun outpost there. And we're going to do that once we get rid of the enemies that are blocking the way on us here. Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. Cool. But yeah, as you can see, you get Raritanium from the magnets, even if you had a different weapon out. As long as the magnet is on the enemy at some point, it will have a chance to drop Raritanium. So. I'm gonna hide back here. Oh, okay. That was nothing. I was thinking it was going to be a much larger explosion. Oh, well. Oh. They're using cover on me. These guys are good. Sir, do you know where you are? You're in the middle of a battlefield. And he's just, get your devices here. I think that was supposed to be an insult. So yeah, these Drawfids, as you may have heard right there, are called Cyclo Cannons. It's a pretty cool name. Oop, not quite enough firepower. Oh my god. I'm being overrun! It's okay, we'll be fine. A lot of Raritanium though, so that's cool. I'll take that. And almost walk into more bullets. That's the killer in this game. It's not the giant boss attacks or anything like that. It's the miniature bullets that you can't see from all of the explosions going off in the background. So, it's always what hits me anyway. Oh, there's a jackpot crate that I'm not going to get to use. Ooh, someone's shooting. Oh, okay. Those guys have been handled. Alright, fair enough. Do it. Something tells me they won't, actually. Just saying. Oh, hang on. I was gonna go after that stuff right there, but first, let's take care of this guy. Yeah, the magnet launcher is really nice. The ability to grapple onto enemies and prevent them from doing all that crazy shit, all the bullet spam that they've got, is just really nice.
Terminating safety processes. Readjusting cannon trajectory.
Oh, good.
The cannons are ours! Excelsior!
Very nice. Good work, everybody. I'm gonna go grab these.
We'll head inside. Incoming dropship!
Hold on, I'm getting a holovid plan. Or a holo plan. Holovid plan. What is this? Courtney Gears' recovered sex tape? No. Definitely not. I could see that being a thing, though, in, like, Deadlocked.
We could really use those cannons about
It's like the princess's question mark from Super Mario RPG.
Timed in 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, Kronk and Zephyr on the cannons now that you'll see up there and up there. And they're gonna deactivate the force field for us, so that's pretty good.
Good work, guys. Stay on these cannons. Ratchet and I will head inside to find the Dimensionator.
Sounds good. Let's go, Talwyn. Oh, she's already here. Alright. Fair enough.
The rebels are here. Send in the Obsidian Enforcer.
Before they send in the Obsidian Enforcer, let me catch up on chat here. You heard Judge, Judy, and Executioner. You'll see yourself out. I don't know about that. You already are the Judge, Jury, and Executioner. You judge them to be bad guys, you sentence them to death, and then you kill them. Every video game hero, by the way. I mean, that is true. You're going to you need to find something else that gives fleece. Competing for kills fucking sucks. Yes, Google if there's another place to farm fleece. You're about to. Sweet, this is the only place, because it's the junction of all 3 locations. Great. What is your gimmick? I charge at you. Holds out magnet gun. No, you don't. Pretty much, yeah. The magnet launcher just prevents... It's just there as a means of crowd control, because it prevents the largest enemies from doing their crazy shit while you're dealing with the smaller enemies, and then, well, once you've dealt with smaller enemies, you've just got the large enemy left, and by that point, the magnets has dissipated, so... Also trivializes sub-bosses, as you're about to see once I get off of this menu, because they're sending in the Obsidian Enforcer to fight us. That guy, whom I'm about to end his entire career, even though they've reinforced the hull with whatever she just said. It doesn't matter! Because you could just do this over and over and over again until he goes away. Like that.
Nice shooting. Suppose you did that all the time back on Kerwan 2?
Oops. I don't want to go up just yet, though.
It's too quiet here.
Well, you can figure that out then, Talwyn, because I don't want to go up just yet. I want to go get this stuff first. And also, before we go anywhere else, I just missed out on a little Raritanium by not going up. But before we go up there, this is probably the best time to go back to the armor vendor that's actually over by your ship. And you definitely want to do that before you get too far here, because if you don't, well, you're going to run into a bit of a problem when you fight the next group of enemies that we're going to fight, and things go completely off the rails. So I'm going to go get some new armor before we do anything else. I'm also going to fill up on ammo. So.
Alright, Chief. What can we do you for?
There, 45 out of 38 fleeced. Did someone order cheese? Pretty much. Time to go to Othar and farm other enemies. Good, Marie. Now do it again. Already on it. Oh, boy. Gotta go farm for the stuff to make more Warstead thread. Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's finish the Negotiator off, just because that way I can get it out of the way. And now that's complete. I might even fully upgrade the Combustor by the time we're done here, because, I mean, if you look at it, it's got, like, nothing to upgrade it at all. It's like 50, 100, you know, stuff that we could have very easily had before this. But let's do the magnet launcher before we do that. So
you don't use the combustor, do you?
no, I haven't used the well, actually, I've used the combustor exactly once, and it was for, well, at the beginning of the game, and also for puzzle solving that I've done. So I've used it twice in the entire game, and that's it. Okay, but now we've just got the magnet launcher to upgrade, and it's got a little bit left, probably about, like, just looking at that, maybe like 10,000, 12,000 Raritanium. That should be pretty easy to find, especially with all the Raritanium upgrades we've got with it. And needless to say, I'll be using the magnet launcher quite extensively for the remainder of the game, because large enemies are just made much simpler to deal with by using it, so... Excuse me, Ophelia, and I need to go get new armor. I didn't hear a word you said, but you do have new armor for us. The Terraflux armor. Again, very reminiscent of the semi-final armor from Up Your Arsenal. It's mostly because it's green, but it's been used by elite Kragmite assassins during the Great War. This historical armor contains triple-stitched Warthog scales plated with durable raritanium. Absorbing up to 55% of all damage, Terraflux is a must-have for experienced warriors looking to conquer the universe. I don't know what he's saying in the background, but I can tell you this, even with this armor, you still get foreshadowed by the final boss. Isn't that fun? So anyway, there we go. We got some new armor, and that's the last bit of armor I'm buying. I'm not even going to bother trying to save up for the final bit of armor in the game, because there is one more armor that you can get in the game, but as far as I'm aware, you can't get it until challenge mode, and even when you can get it in challenge mode, it's like 10 million bolts to buy. It's fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, we're not going to bother with that. Hey, Ghost Hand, how's it going? Welcome. Your only gripe with Tools of Destruction is the movement. It was so much better in both Quest for Booty and A Crack in Time. The movement does feel sluggish in this game. I mean, it feels like I'm moving slower than I did in the classic games, to be honest. I have a few more gripes than you do with Tools of Destruction, though, because I'm very conflicted with this one. It feels like in every case where they make an improvement, they take a step backwards, too, but we'll talk about that later when I get to the credits, which may just be today. Oh, another Enforcer. Oh, that's not my magnet launcher. There we go. What am I stuck on here? Yeah, there's the napalm cells, by the way. So. And you can get more than 4 shots off with the Negotiator while you're waiting for him to pop out of the magnet. I just find it easier to do it that way, where you only shoot 4. Alright, sounds good, Talon. I just find it easier to do 4, because then you don't run out of ammo, and the magnet also gets a decent chunk of experience out of it, so. Oh, Geolaser. We have found another way in. Let's cut through this possibly obsidian wall with Clank's Geolaser. Man, I wish Clank's weapons were... or Clank's new gadgets from the Zoni were actually useful in combat.
May be a lot of things, but I do not believe he would surrender the Dimensionator just to spare his own life.
Then you don't know Quark very well, Clank. Especially if he's regressed in his character development since going commando, like the game apparently wants me to believe he has. So... But yeah, I don't know, it's just a commonality. It's a common thread in a lot of Tools of Destruction storytelling. The characters just do stuff that would be out of character for them at this point in the story, especially since this is not a reboot. It's actually just jumping off of the stuff that happened in Up Your Arsenal and Deadlocked, and it's continuation of the story. But the characters have had development that directly interfere with some of the plot threads that happen here in Tools of Destruction, so I don't know. Anyway, let's go watch Tachyon be a villain, finally, for the first time in the game, rather than being somebody's shoe shiner. Yeah, this could be interesting if that whole kinship connection between you and Ratchet ever came up, other than now. I'm sure you do. It's green, just like you. Somebody needs a thesaurus for Christmas.
Finally, the time has come for the Kragmites to rise again. To rise again.
You didn't prime that thing with Raritanium first, did you? Come on, man. It's like Technology 101. Actually, probably the Dimensionator had like an inbuilt failsafe to prevent the Kragmites from using it. This is totally me spitballing, but the reason why he was able to pull it that time and activate it is probably because his tiny little body couldn't pull hard enough if he was just not really trying to get it to actually work. But, yeah. This could be a bit of a problem. Again, for the first time, Tachyon could be a bit of a problem. This is a nice little throwback to every other time we've been hanging off a cliff. Those look like my toxic swarmers, only they turned into those things, which are much more terrifying.
Ratchet, please, wake up.
What happened? Did the explosion knock you out? Apparently so. Well, this could be a bit of a problem. Now this is why I think Planet Repor had the potential again, potential to be one of the best planets in this trilogy, because Tachyon wins, quote unquote. He gets the Dimensionator and he uses it to bring back the Kragmites, which in theory have been terrifying to read about over the course of the whole game. Now they're actually here, and Ratchet and Clank are separated, so you have to confront this enemy alone. Here's the problem. They put a Clank level right after they just introduced that. Now, if you had started by playing as Ratchet and you didn't know where Clank was, and you did the Clank level either in between Ratchet sections or after, kind of like the prison break on planet Eranos and Going Commando, the section would have flowed so much better, because it would have been so much more interesting to have Ratchet do this and not have a guide, not have Clank on his back so he could do all the jumps and he has to confront the Kragmites alone. Instead, you get a Clank level where the Zoni tell you, hey, the Kragmites are back. You should probably do something about that. And yes, to be fair, these little tiny Kragmites are still terrifying to look at, but I don't know, for me it's a pace breaker, because the Zoni are telling, not showing, and they could have shown it through gameplay if you just had Ratchet, but I don't know. I feel like if I had designed this, it would have come out as bad in quality because I'm not a video game designer, but I don't know. I feel like it would have been better if they had the Clank level after the Ratchet level. That's my point. So, I don't know. I think Rift Apart was a good balance between the slower-paced Tools of Destruction and the faster-paced original series, and to be fair... Oh, yeah, no, let's not get it twisted. The graphics in this game were mind-blowing for the early PS3 era. Again, the problem that I've been having is that the graphical fidelity is nice, but in cutscenes where it matters, where that sort of graphical fidelity can be shown off, there's been audio desync from the audio that the characters are talking about. So that kind of cuts into the quality of it for me because it's not properly optimized. And in the cutscenes where you don't get audio desync and it can show off the graphics, in gameplay the graphics are great, but in the cutscenes where there is no audio desync and you're talking to characters, it's that stilted back and forth conversation tree thing that the Mass Effect series likes to do. And I don't know, it just doesn't really work for me, because like before, the conversation trees that they've had in this series have been a little bit less jank looking. I mean, because the characters were more animated. It wasn't just lip flaps back and forth panning the camera, you know. Yay. Echoing yay. Nope, you cannot bite me. I have the power of the world. Oh good, this particle effect showed up there this time. I think the first time I played this game, this manipulation particle effect didn't show up, because I remember it not being there. So, yeah, I don't know, Ghost Hand. I mean, I think I just look at this game a different way than you do, and I'm glad that you can get more out of it. It's just, for me, in most cases, a lot of the stuff this game does just doesn't work, because it, on the same hand that it does those good things, it does bad things. At least that's how I feel, anyway. It's just a personal preference, personal opinion thing, but... yay. 5 more Acapulco down, 45 more Rainbow Thread, which is 60 more Rainbow Cotton Balls, 13 more Undyed Woolen Cloth, which is 26 more Woolen Yarn, and Woolen Yarn requires more Fleece! Holy hell, I'm going to lose my mind. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully the grind goes somewhat smoothly for you, at least. Wish the Zoni had a bigger role in this game. It would be nice. I mean, they have a role in lore in the game, and they have a role in the Clank levels, and to be fair, there's more to them than just what we've got here, but we'll get to that when we get a little bit further. They mainly play a story role rather than like I mean, they play a gameplay role because the Clank sections require you to use them, but yeah, they don't have as much of a story role as I think they could have. I don't know. It's just... after a certain point with Tools of Destruction story, I'm kind of just like, you know? Alright, well, we got a whole bunch of Zoni, so let's levitate back down here and take them with us, because we need them to energize the thing over here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Zoni, energize. Yay! That's their role in the game. And to be fair, it's wholesome. but I don't know. I guess it would be nice if they had a little bit more. And I mean, it's a platforming game, so it's hard to have that kind of like a lot of development in the 8 or 9 hours that the game goes on for. But I don't know, it's weird to me. The other thing that's weird to me is that the end of the game is coming up pretty soon, right? Now, normally in these games, if you are looking at like the classic games, the villain wins at about the 2/3 point. And then you spend the last 1/3 coming up with a plan to try to make it so that they don't, destroy the whole galaxy or the whole universe or whatever. But in Tachion's case, he wins, and then there's like 2 planets left to go, so you just take the wind completely out of his sails in no time at all. And it's kind of iffy. Here's the main pace breaker in this section for me right here. Because, okay, so Clank level, I mean, it's not that big of a pace breaker, but then you have this part right here, where Clank gets a vision from the Zoni that shows that Ratchet is alive, which, I mean, I guess isn't a huge spoiler, because why would they kill off one of their main characters by throwing him in a pit? But, I don't know, it feels like they should have reversed the roles here. They should have had Ratchet doing his section first, because we're going to go do his section now. So, what the fuck, there's more planets here? Why isn't this the final level? I know.
Clank!
I know, believe me, I feel your pain. I've felt your pain since I first played this game. And again, okay, so look at the way that they're directing the cutscenes here. Those new Kragmites we have to fight are terrifying. Okay, that's the point they're trying to get across. And we have to do it without Clank, so we can't do a lot of the I mean, we can still do some of his crazy commando platforming with the side flips and all that stuff. But we have to do this next section without him, and we don't know where he is. Again, pace-breaking thing for me. They could have done this section first, and I think it would have been a lot better than the way that it's being done. Let's get the last Raritanium thing for this so that it's got the maximum upgrade there. It's wholesome and cute AF, but man, I wish they just did more with the presence of the Zoni. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. And the thing is they don't really play a huge role in A Crack in Time, if I remember right, either, unfortunately. I mean, they have a role, but they're mostly, like, background characters, if I remember right, after the first sequence. Why isn't this the final level? I'm gonna write soon. I need to make a story as shitty as this. Now, let's be fair to the guy that inherited this, right? Like, if I recall the development of this game correctly, they had to bring in a new writer because the old writer, like, got part of the game done in concept, and then he stopped doing it and was I think he either quit or was fired. I don't remember exactly. Here's why these guys are terrifying, by the way. Because not only can they teleport all over the place, they can also use hyper armor to, they also have hyper armor after they're done teleporting in some cases. And in addition to having hyper armor after they teleport, they shoot you from afar while being invisible and moving all over the place. So, yeah, these guys are really, really engaging as enemies to fight. And again, I think this section could have been better if they did it first, but I don't know, it feels like they could have done something with this that would be better. Oh, hello. Big guy. Big guy. Okay, so when he's doing that, where he puts his hand up like that, that's his hyper armor section, so he actually cannot be damaged while he's doing that. So. And, well, I would use the Shock Ravager here to gather more Raritanium, but, well, the Pyroblaster pretty much does what the Shock Ravager was doing for us in terms of Raritanium gathering now. It can one-shot those little guys, so. That's true, they did fix the pacing with A Crack in Time. I think they did a better job with the story in A Crack in Time than they did in this game. It's just too bad it took them that long to get there, you know. And I mean, I understand. The new guy that they brought in, as far as I know, didn't have any writing credits before this game, so, like, he was an amateur, you know, what can you do? But there's a certain point where you need to not throw some dude under the bus just because the other guy quits, you know? You need to bring in somebody with an established pedigree that can salvage that for you. Okay, so teleport, hyper armor, wait for the targeting to come up, then you can fight these guys, so that's how that goes. Now for the little guys. But yeah, the little guys don't really have much to them. They barely have any health, and you can gather a decent chunk of raritanium from them, so... But yeah, the teleporting is the main thing with these guys that's problematic, because, well... When they teleport, they ignore your targeting, obviously, so... Makes it a little harder to kill them. Again, they're an interesting enemy group, and as a lore point, and in terms of how they've built them up, this is a really solid setup for really compelling and interesting endgame villains. It's almost like what they did with the, when Dr. Nefarious used the Bio-Obliterator to turn all of the Tyrannoids, I almost called them Terrachnoids, that wouldn't be right, to turn all the Tyrannoids into robots at the end of Up Your Arsenal, which again was the game that they took major influence from for this one. And I think it's a good setup. It's just sometimes I think it doesn't quite live up to the potential that it could have had they restructured a few things here. Not only that, but they could have broken up these two sequences into a bunch of smaller segments and alternate between them. Yes, like the escape from the prison on Eranos and going commando. Yes, I think that would have been a good idea, because then you could have gotten a little bit from each person, and it could have felt like a cooperative effort for them to rejoin one another, you know? I see why the Kragmites were the scourge of the universe, the only race that is competent in combat outside of the Lombax is... Yes, they're well coordinated, and by the time you reach the final planet of this game, they can be a real pain in the ass to deal with. But, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it feels like story-wise, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit with the Kragmites. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let's get more damage, and we'll get these two. So we need 5,000 to get those, and then we've got all this. We can look at the exclusive upgrade now, too. Excuse me, inductor coils. This upgrade adds a powerful electrical inductor coil to each magnet. Excuse me, again, resulting in a more stable magnetic field that imprisons foes for longer than ever before. So yeah, it makes the magnets last a little bit longer, which is good. Also, there's a gold bolt up there that you can kind of, well, you can't really see it from this angle, but there's a gold bolt and pirate booty up there. You can get to that platform there using the charge boots, but I would not recommend doing so, because once you reach that platform, there's a jump over there that you can only clear by doing a high jump with Clank, so it kind of rains on your parade, so you have to basically wait until these two reunite in order to get that gold bolt and pirate booty. So it's going to sit up there taunting me for the next maybe 10 minutes or so until I get Clank back, unfortunately. But yeah, we've bought everything that we need to buy now in the game, so we don't got to worry about that anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the way that the story kind of goes in Tools of Destruction, I think it's kind of, honestly, it's kind of telling of how the future series, like what it prioritized in terms of what inspiration it took from the classic games, and that what it took from the classic series is the direction that a lot of the games took after this. And I don't know if it doesn't really compare to me to the way that the classic series, the classic trilogy did things. Again, it's a personal preference thing, but if you gave me the classic trilogy and you gave me these games, if you gave me the more Ratchet played straight type of a hero versus Ratchet in these games, I would choose, or not Ratchet in these games, but Ratchet played straight. Ratchet in the classic games versus Ratchet in these games. I think I'd pick the classic games each time, without too much question, but that's personal preference. The main thing here is that I don't think the storytelling is done as well in some cases, which again is mind-boggling to me, because it's like they brought in professional writers for this. How could this not be better storytelling? But I don't know. Those big guys, by the way, the one that we just fought that I had to use 2 magnets on, watch out for those guys, because those green energy balls that they shoot have phantom range. That must be where the phantom range for my wrench went, was on their energy attacks. So it'll hit you even if it doesn't look like it's going to hit you, so just be careful of that. This secret, however, I can go get if I don't fall into methane and die and have to do this whole section over again. But, it's okay. It's not that far to go, and we need some upgrades anyway, so. Oh, okay, no new chat since the last time. I was looking to see if anybody Said something. Okay. Gotta make that jump at the last possible second there, or else you're boned. This, by the way, is the section where the Pyroblaster will come in more handy, because these little guys actually give a surprisingly high amount of experience for the Pyroblaster, so... Okay. And we got some Raritanium. Let's go grab that while we're at it, so I get a little closer to my goal. We'll get more Raritanium as we go on the next planet, though, so I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, I need this. Okay, hold on. There we go. I also need this, but we'll get there. But it's a good marriage of gameplay and story interacting in these cases, right? Because the Kragmites use tactics, they're incredibly powerful, so yeah, it's a good setup for the game to throw the kitchen sink at you, quite literally, at this point. I don't know, I just think in terms of story output, I think they could have done better, but... I don't know, maybe I'm asking for too much. Gonna grab this before the medium guy gets here. This guy. This big guy, I shouldn't even say medium guy, he's not a big guy, is the problem child because of those green energy balls there. You pretty much have to side flip over them, or else they will hit you. Like, you can't walk away from them and expect to be able to dodge them. They just don't work like that. See, there's hyper armor again on them there. The saving grace with that guy is that he doesn't shoot very quickly. Once he starts shooting, he shoots quickly, but once it takes him like a minute to charge up, basically, so you can kind of take a bit of a breather when it comes to fighting him for a little bit. Alright, I gotta line this up properly, evidently. There we go. So now we can use the helipods right here to grab this secret. $52 more fleece. This is as bad as titanium ore. You had to get 750 of that the other week, and it's hidden. Remember that. That's gross. Good lord. I would never want to get that much titanium ore. At that point, I'd be like, nope, I'm buying some. And I know the point is to save money, but yeah, it's way too much for me to do. Why is every Kragmite made up of other Kragmites? I'm not 100% sure. I would say that they're probably like some sort of backup, like shock trooper that they have stored somehow in their chassis. I don't know exactly, but... Or maybe they're just teleporting in after the Kragmite dies. I don't know. My thought there is that it may have something to do with their cloaking technology, right? Like the cloaking technology that they use to prevent themselves from being seen to start with. That was a little close. It may actually be some sort of nanotech swarm that the Kragmites come out of. I don't 100% know exactly. It's cool. I think it's pretty interesting because it makes them a lot more terrifying of a villain, because it's like, even if you kill them, you're not done. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly why they do what they do. You realize how much the ore and nuggets cost? It was spending around 50k just on ore. It's close to around 100k for the nuggets. That's true, yeah, because isn't each nugget like... Isn't that like 2,000 or something for a normal quality one? So... Excuse me. And that's for all 100 nuggets, or about half the ore you need, yeah.
Blown off protecting your rusty bolts from that Kragmite slayer. My bolts aren't rusty. They just haven't been used in a while.
Less banter, more fixing, guys. Hi.
Are you okay?
No.
He's gone. Clink's gone.
But see, this moment could have been so much more interesting, right?
He's right. He's always right.
If we hadn't played Clank's level already.
When I had the chance.
And I mean, it's fine because he just comes down and it's like, hey, cool moment, because he'll finally listen to him rather than thinking he took nano drugs at the beginning of the game, but yeah. Hug it out? Oh. They're a little self-conscious. That could be a problem, yeah.
Ratchet, you need to get there and help suppress the invasion. I'll meet up with you as soon as we repair Krunk.
Looks like that might take a while. I'm surprised he didn't say something stupid, like, is that what I look like from behind? Anyway, we gotta go to Meridian City and suppress the Kragmite invasion, so that's fun.
Ratchet, you should probably head off without us. This could take a while.
Yeah, it looks like it. But before we head off, let's go get that gold bolt that is over there, mostly for the pirate booty. So... Also, Talwyn's gonna yell at me for going back and getting this over the microphone, or over the radio, like, at least 3 times on the way there, so... just be ready for that. This game has a thing where it basically doesn't want you to go off and do stuff on your own for some weird reason. I don't understand, but whatever. It's fine. So yeah, there's the gold bolt and the pirate booty with a little bit more of a detailed picture.
What are you waiting for? Meridian City is being attacked.
There's one. Yeah, it's 5 ore per nugget. Yeah, I think I remember that, yeah. Here's the jump, by the way. You can't clear this without doing some sort of a high jump, because you can't grab the ledge. For some reason. Okay, Tools of Destruction, whatever you say. I guess it's a mossy cave. That's never stopped me before, but whatever. Can you tell I'm a little over this game at this point? Oh good, I made it this time. Nice. Probably because I accidentally did some sort of speedrunning tech just there without knowing it. Hey, Heaven's Ward, Gathering and Crafting. Just hug or cry if you need to. Stop holding in your emotions. Or gold bolt's even worth getting. So they're useful if you want to buy skins, and I guess I could show those since I haven't really showed them at all so far. I'll go look at the skins in a little bit so we can check out what they actually do. Let's get the inductor coils while we're here. Just because that seems like a worthwhile investment. It prevents me from getting more damage, more ammo. But we technically just got more damage because if the magnets last longer, they deal more damage, so... No, they're guys. They have to hold on to their emotion. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess the developers decided it would be a funny moment for them to be self-conscious of Talwyn being there and watching them bro hug, but it would have been warranted because Ratchet just thought his best friend for the past 4 games, they've been together for years at this point, he thought he was dead. Like, come on now. I think to me, that warrants a bro hug. Come on now. Game. And I mean, even Talwyn's rolling her eyes like, guys, seriously? Why would you even do this? I mean, it's fine. Just hug it out. You're not bothering anyone, least of all me. But whatever. I think I've harped on this game enough, although we're going to harp on it some more by the time we're done with it. But, you know. Let's go to Meridian City. So I can finish upgrading my guns. Planet Igliak. Meridian City is the capital of Free Polaris, which consists of all planets and sectors not yet under the control of Emperor Tachyon. He said he had all of them, but whatever. The Emperor has longed for years to seize control of Meridian City, but his armies were no match for the combined forces of the free planets in the Verdigris sector, which is not where Meridian City even is, but maybe he just couldn't get to the Praxis sector just yet because he couldn't even get through the second sector. I don't know. Whatever, let's just go there. Skins. Okay, that's a Terabad reward for finding optional secret. Yeah, I know. Again, this game took heavy inspiration from Up Your Arsenal, and in Up Your Arsenal, the titanium bolts, I think, were the ones in Up Your Arsenal, were just used for buying skins as well. So they figured, hey, if we liked it in Up Your Arsenal, which apparently developers of this game really liked Up Your Arsenal, why fix it if it ain't broke? But I thought it was broke to begin with.
Of the city has been decimated by Kragmite dropships.
Last
long without support.
It's on the way.
Radio them and let them know the cavalry has arrived. Oh. Yeah, alright, whatever you say. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me that they suddenly remembered that Aphelion had a voice, and now she decides to start bantering. Like, I would have preferred to have that banter happen a lot over the course of the game, guys. Again, she's a talking ship. Come on now. Seriously? I don't know. Whatever. It's... At a certain point, I just have to stop complaining and say, you know what, whatever, it's fine. It's not going to affect my health or anything, but... I don't know. It feels like there could have been more here. Also, I think, if I remember right, now that we have the treasure mapper, we can actually go and find the box breaker. I don't remember where it is exactly, but it's on one of the planets that we've been to previously, so I don't want to deal with those guys just yet. I want to deal with these guys first, who just hit me even though I was in the middle of hitting them. That's fine. But, yeah, you could find the box breaker somewhere else, but I don't think I'm gonna bother. I just... Like, it's just, again, it's personal preference, but Tools of Destruction and Quest for Booty, for me, are where the Future series is at its worst. I like A Crack in Time and slightly less... Like, I like A Crack in Time a lot better than both of those, and I like Into the Nexus slightly less than those, but I still like the concept of a lot of the stuff Into the Nexus does. My main gripe with Into the Nexus is that it's too short, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I could do both of these, actually, so let's do both of them. Alright, what do we got left? We got 3,000, 2,000, 2,500. We need 7,500 Veritanium by the end of this planet, and we also need experience for all of our other guns to get them to V5. But don't worry about it if you're still rocking some V3 weapons at this point, especially in the case of like the Negotiator, the Magnet Launcher. We will get enough experience to get to V5 by the end of this planet. And maybe then I'll finally have an excuse to use the Groovatron, right? No, I actually will be using the Groovatron in this last section. So, don't worry about that part. I got that on lock. Oop. There we go. Oop. Oh, apparently not. Take me up here, thank you. Need to get away from these guys. Alright. What do we got? Oh, okay. Yeah, see, again, from a gameplay standpoint, interesting to fight, because if you time your shots wrong, they'll teleport away from the shots. And that's a waste of bullet, so... I like the Kragmites in concept, and in battle, they mostly live up to the concept. It's just... Oh, for the Horde, I got a skill point. That's cool. It's just that... I don't know, it feels like for every good thing that they do with the Kragmites, there's a bad thing that they do, which is really indicative of the whole game, but, yeah. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the skins. I didn't show the skins off really all that much, did I? So here's the skins you can buy in the game if you have the... You start with Ratchet, obviously, by default. And we got almost... Well, we'll have half of the gold bolts in the game by the time we're done, I think. So you got Dan Johnson. He's an old standby as a skin because he was one of the developers. And I think at this point he had passed away by the time Tools of Destruction was being developed. So Dan, thank you for your service with the whole series. I hope you're in a better place. You got the Snowman. Another one from Up Your Arsenal. So yeah, they got a couple Up Your Arsenal references here. Then they got a Kragmite skin. That's fun. This isn't a spoiler at all. You can look at this menu from the first planet in the game, by the way. Rusty Pete, you could play as him, only slightly smaller. You got Krunk and Zephyr. Well, we can look at both of them. There you go. And then Mustachio Furioso. So, yeah, if you like Ratchet's default armor, I guess you could wear this, but that's what you got. That's what you get for getting the gold bolts, and
somewhere in the city. It sounds like Captain Quark.
Request assistance. Over.
Well, Captain Quark's here somewhere, so that's fun. 12 enemies, only one drop, man. If I hadn't played KMMOs, I'd be screaming right now. Instead, you're just falling asleep. I get that, yeah. Drop rates are a thing, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, actually, before we go too far here, that little section that I was having trouble jumping up onto before. Oh, we got a new device, Death Springs, that we only get on the second to last planet, so that's fun. But here they are right here. They're essentially slinkies that behave like heavy bouncer rounds. So if you remember the heavy bouncer from both Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal, they behave like the little pellets that drop from those guns. Except, well, they're a device, so, yeah. They're pretty good. They're really good. They do really solid DPS as well. It's just too bad you can only really use them for, like, 2 planets, unfortunately. So. Alright, where's my little... Here it is. I want to float down here and grab another gold bolt. We'll have more than half, actually, because I'm going to get the other gold bolt on this planet as well. Or maybe I'm not, actually, because I remember the other gold bolt on this planet, and if we look at the map, we can see where it is on a treasure mapper. It's on another platform similar to that one, But if I remember correctly, you can't get that gold bolt without having to kill yourself afterwards and go back to a checkpoint, so that's not exactly good design. The drop rates are apparently less than 40%. Everything from Stormblood sucks. Oh, man. Stormblood was a Peaks and Valleys expansion for me, that's for sure. Oh, we got another reinforced guy, along with two of the smaller, less threatening Cragmites. There you go. Let's just get rid of them first. They will burst into these little guys that I can take care of after they get off multiple levels, but I have to do that while dealing with this guy. Ow! Yeah, 3-4 hits will kill you in the endgame, even with the best armor that you can get at that point, but it's probably because you've got the magnet launcher here. Now we can launch 5 missiles, by the way, because look at how much longer that lasts, so... This is another Obsidian Enforcer, though, by the way, so he'll give significantly higher experience than basically anything else. If you have guns that are at V3 and you defeat these guys, well, they're not V3 anymore! There's our V4 Negotiator, and we also got a V4 Magnet Launcher. It's just that they upgraded at the same time. Unfortunately, we don't get to see both. Kind of a shame, but, you know. Thank you, Havoc Engine, for letting me get on this platform by moving the boxes, so they didn't push me off. And you could have gone up here to make it so you could, like, flank the guy or something, I guess. Oh, look, another hollow plan for a gun I'm never going to use.
Ratchet, that switch appears to control the force field.
Yes, it does. I'll go look at it in a second, Clank. Where's the closest vendor from here? Oh, it's just down the way. I'll go back to this one because it's right here. They spread these vendors out, like, not at all by the time you get to this point. They're basically like, hey, here's a vendor so you can finish upgrading your weapons, and also you can come back to it to spam the nanotech if you want to. So, because, like I said before, it fully restores your HP whenever you use a vendor. So, there is difficulty in this section, but only if you don't do the smart thing and don't take advantage of the fact that the vendors fully refill your health. Ah, boy. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear. The reason why this game infuriates me sometimes with the way that it does things is because I see the potential. I see how this could have been a logical next step in terms of Ratchet & Clank as a series. It's just that sometimes it feels like there's so much jank that it offsets the good that this game does. So, there's good and there's bad. That's the point. Well, we got a whole bunch more Raritanium that we can use. So that's good. Maybe you were being more critical and harsher, thought it wasn't a good expansion, and you were there for the entire 2 years the X-Pack was going. You were crucified for not liking the story. Believe me, I understand that. Like I said, I thought that there were certain moments in Stormblood that were really good, but the moments that were not really good were just really bad. Like, it was either really good or really bad, and there was, like, no effective in-between at all. And I am probably going to get crucified for my opinion on Shadowbringers as well, because my opinion on Shadowbringers is that it keeps the valleys from Stormblood, but its peaks are lower. So take that for what you will. Sorry if I'm spoiling that for anybody, but yeah, that'll be my opinion when we get there. Okay. But yeah, see, like, this is very interesting and challenging to deal with, because these guys are just spamming bullets while you're trying to deal with the little guys. It's good, it's challenging gameplay, I like it, they kill you in like 4 hits. Interesting, better off than some of the other games in the series so far, where the challenge doesn't seem like it's been there so much. And that they kept from Up Your Arsenal, because Up Your Arsenal also had difficulty at the end game, where you had to deal with monstrously large amounts of enemies that generally liked to kick you in the dick the whole time. So, excuse me. We're not quite done with the Raritanium yet, are we? We can get this. Yeah, just a little bit more and then we're done. So we'll come back to the vendor if we get some more, but I don't particularly think we need to worry about that too much. Let's get these bad boys out so we can keep using them. But yes, the challenge is here, and I like the challenge. It's just that, I don't know. It feels like the challenge is offset by some other bad things. That's the whole point. So basically, you already know what my rating's going to be for this game, right? It's going to be all right. Because, oh, we can't get over there just yet for the other gold bolt, but I'll show you once we get there what I'm talking about when I say, yeah, I think it's, I think you can't get it without killing yourself in the process, so. I'm going to put you there for a second, sir, while I deal with this over here. There we go. Swap this back out in case he pops out. There we go. And now we can deal with him. I'll just wait it out. Thank you. And there you go. You also get a whole bunch of nanotech experience for your health as well, so that's pretty good. And now we definitely have enough Raritanium to finish off our collection there. Oh, that was where I got that stuff from. It was right over here. Okay. Well, since it's going to kick me back to the curb anyway, there's the gold bolt down there. But again, as far as I'm aware, once you go down here and grab this, I don't think there's any way back up there without dying. Because if you look here, there's like a hidden swing shot target somewhere that I just didn't see. Which would be something that the classic trilogy would do, by the way, with its game design to make sure I don't just die. Maybe I can just go around this part. This is probably not intentional, but I'm doing it anyway. There you go. We made it without dying. Somehow. I have a question. No, I cannot break the screen, unfortunately. That sucks. Oh well. Okay, so we've got enough to finish off the magnet launcher, and that'll be all of our weapons that we're using completed. But we have a whole bunch of extra Raritanium, so since we're at it, why don't we finally just let the Combustor get all of its upgrades? Fine. We have it in our inventory, I might as well, and it doesn't really cost much to do, so. The Combustor's another one of those, by the way, where you pretty much have to get all the upgrades to get it to see the exclusive, which is Pyrocytic Precipitation. It puts a little bit of a line of fire along the line that the Combustor shoots. And, I mean, I think that could be good. But, to be honest, I've never really seen a difference in the DPS that it deals. I guess you could use it by, like, shooting the Combustor all over the place to create these little lines of lava along the battlefield that'll make it harder for enemies to actually get to you. But, by the time you're able to buy that, most weapons have already started outclassing the Combustor, so I don't know. I don't want to talk too much shit about the weapons in this game, because the weapons in this game are probably my favorite part about it. I think that the weapons in this game are it's probably one of my favorite selections of weapons in the series, to be honest. So, yeah, it's pretty solid. So I don't want to talk too much shit about it. Oh, by the way, I figured out a way to look at the board on this thing. If you need a minute to check out where everything is going, so you can look at, okay, here's the path I want to take. You press the circle button, and it'll ask you if you want to abort decryption, but you can just say no, and it'll continue along its path. But while you're sitting on this screen, the little spark will actually stay in place, and you can look at the whole board and see where you want everything to go. So, yeah, that's how you would stop this, so you can look around the board and figure out your path, just in case anyone was wondering how you would do that. There you go. So there's a little pro tip for you, in case you were wondering and you needed something else to make these decryptor puzzles a little bit simpler for yourself. There you go. There's my tip of the day. Okay, so that one's good. Now we just need to get down here, so we can put this here, and then as you can see, that'll get all three of the switches here. I think there's one more decryptor puzzle in the game after this, and it's a little more challenging, but yeah, they're not too bad after this. Really, the one that was on Mukau was probably the one that I find the hardest, so, in the game, just because you don't have a whole lot of time to look around and see what's happening, so. I don't even know why I brought out the Pyro Blaster. I'm just going to go up here and fight these guys anyway, so. There's one, and there's two, and there's three, and there's the rest. There we go. Oh, more of them. Two big guys. Uh-oh. This could be a problem. Alright, and that's why, because their shots do so much excessive amounts of damage.
Ratchet, I am unable to locate the source of the transmission.
Ratchet, come in. We've triangulated Quark's distress call to the Sector 3 construction zone. The only way to get there is by gyrocycle.
Okay, well, we get to use the gyrocycle again, that's fine. It also opens up a path, a shortcut back to your ship from here, so just in case you needed that, there you go. You need 19 more natron. Screw this, you're making dinner. You skipped lunch without meaning to. Yeah, you should get some food then. That would be a good idea. Take it easy, Marie. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, I guess we'll just hang on to the Raritanium now. It's not like I need it for anything. Maybe I can use it to get over this knee-high plot wall. No, it's not a plot wall, but it was definitely blocking me from doing my stuff there. Unfortunately, I got through that section without dying, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of me being able to get my weapons to V5, doesn't it? It's okay. We'll get it to V5 on the next planet, which incidentally is the final planet of the game, so. I'm just too good, apparently. See, I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to get my balls rocked by everything else that I'm fighting here. Alright, Sector 3 Construction Zone. Those little sections there will crumble after you go across them, so just make sure you do a little burst of speed through them. Thankfully, I don't need Raritanium anymore, but avoiding fire is probably a good idea. We've seen this section before as well. Some sort of driver's license joke that I just missed out on. I don't even care if I get hit by the fire, whatever. It's fine. No big deal. We got a little ramp from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater going on in here, some sort of weird half-pipe looking thing. Yeah, remember, talk shit, get hit. Yeah, exactly. So this is the section, and probably the only section in the game, where the burst of speed is necessary. Just mash the X button and it'll get over that crumbling bridge before it falls over on you. And there you go. And same thing here, really. Just mash, and there you go. Just get right there. Yeah, this planet isn't really all that long, though, so it's, and then I think the final planet isn't really all that long, either. The main, Alright, sounds good. The main thing that makes the final planet a little bit longer is the fact that the final boss fight is actually somewhat challenging. Just not in the same way. I'm not going to get to say this during the fight itself, so I'll just say it now. It's not challenging in the same way that I personally find Chairman Drek to have been challenging, because Drek was pretty hard in the first game. Oh, I gotta go through this tunnel first before I can do that. Okay. But yeah, Drek was pretty hard in the, Oh, I'm supposed to go over here, duh. I'm like waiting for the door to open. Yeah, Drek was pretty hard consistently in the final boss fight of Ratchet & Clank, the original game, because he pretty much had a whole bunch of challenges, mini challenges for you to do across his boss fight, and you had to use basically every weapon in your arsenal in order to make sure that he died. And with Tachyon, you do have to use pretty much every weapon in your arsenal to kill him, but he's not really difficult until, like... Okay, thank you for the tutorial for something I've used before. Okay. But he's not really difficult until the last 15 to 30 seconds of the boss fight, in which case he goes to pissy boss mode, and you either immediately die from all of the spam that he does, or you manage to avoid or prevent the spam and kill him before he can be anything more than a minor nuisance. So it's an all or nothing type of boss fight, and I don't think I like that as much as I liked Drek. So I'm gonna go up and then down, because they showed that in the intro as well. You can also flap your wings with this thing, but I don't know why you'd ever want to, considering you can just go up by pressing down. It's inverted controls, but with flight controls I really don't mind it being inverted all that much. It's fine, you know, whatever. Apparently Meridian City is a big fan of Captain Quark, though, because he's all over the advertising here. Oh, hello. Two big guys? Two big guys. Okay. Okay, wait out the hyper armor and make sure the targeting is on. I can't believe I dodged that. And then do what I can here so those guys don't run into too much napalm. And there we go. Quark, are you in here? More self-imposed exile? Okay.
You all right, Quark?
That guy is so off my top 8.
We need to stop.
Why was he in your top 8 to begin with?
Where did he go?
Who knows? Who cares? I don't deserve these rock-hard abs, these chiseled features, these impeccable glutes and bulbous buttocks.
Thank you, because I definitely need to see that.
Captain Quark, no more.
Get a hold of
Well,
yourself,
like I said, you reverted in your character development to pre-up your arsenal levels. So...
The Zoni told me.
Then Fastoon it is.
Smashing idea.
I mean, to be fair, Ratchet did go to Zordum prison before, even when he didn't like the fact that Clank was telling him, oh, the Zoni told me. It's just he's being nicer about it this time. Well, anyway, we gotta go back to Fastoon. They're on the Lombax homeworld. Another callback to Ratchet and Clank 1, where you had to go back to Veldin at the end of the game. So. Alright, instead of listening to him blabber on, let me pause it while I take a drink there. There we go. Alright, let's top off on ammo, because the ammo vendor is like way out of the way of the battlefield here when we get back to Fastoon. Again, there's going to be a battlefield section that we have to deal with when we get to Fastoon. So, we'll deal with that from there. So the one thing I definitely want to do by the time we're done with Fastoon is I want to make sure that the Pyroblaster is upgraded to V5. The Magnet Launcher and the Negotiator should both get there as well. But I'm not 100% sure about that just yet. And if they're not, it's really not a huge deal. It would be nice, but it doesn't have to, I guess. We can probably deal with it without that, so. Alright, so we'll go to Fastoon. And I think this is the same description as before, but obviously the picture's different because now it's nighttime when we get to Fastoon, and we have to deal with a whole lot more enemies, so let's go back there. And finally confront Tachyon over his bullshit that he's been doing this entire game, although, again, it feels like Tachyon kind of fucked off for about 75% of the game. He pretty much was a background noise thing until 2 planets ago. And now he's a threat again. And to be fair, he has one good scene, and I do mean one good scene here on Fastoon, but we'll get there. Well, I mean...
No, that won't be necessary.
It kind of is, though. I don't want Aphelion to get shot down, even if she gets underdeveloped by the game developers in this game. Yeah, I see that. We should probably do something about those. Magma cannons? They're using my favorite gun from Deadlocked against me. No, it's not those. And actually, the Hollow Shield launcher is my favorite gun from Deadlocked, to be fair. But they're Magna cannons that they're using against us, so we'll have to take them out. Thankfully, I believe, if I recall correctly, a single shot from the Alpha Cannon will just blast the cannons to smithereens. Although I might just do it with the Negotiator here, because it'll get a decent chunk of experience from it. So, oop. Now here, if you already had the fully upgraded Negotiator, you probably wouldn't be using nearly as many rockets because, well, it fires more rockets when you upgrade it. I don't think that's a spoiler. It's a rocket launcher, so of course it does. Okay, but first, let's take that one out. You could go through the whole Magna Boots section that you had to go through before in order to get to that one if you really wanted to, but I don't think it's strictly necessary. And there's another one over here, so before we go after that other one that they were talking about, let's go get this one after I figure out what the hell's going on with this. Hold on. But yeah, they're going to start mixing in Cragmites with Drawfids now, which is just great. Oh, I'm out of Negotiator. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, same as always. Take out the little guys with the Pyroblaster. Might take this out with the Pyroblaster because that'll do some decent damage. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't seem like it does a whole lot for the experience counter, though, so... I think that'll be enough to take those guys out. Yeah, it is. That's those inductor coils coming in handy for us, so... Alright, so that's that. There's another one over here, actually. Before we go anywhere else, there's another cannon right here that we can take out. I might go over there anyway, even though I'm going to take out the cannon without going over there, because there's a few enemies to fight over there, so I can like get a little extra experience while I'm there for the negotiator, I guess. Let me go back here and grab some ammo, though. That'll probably come in decently handy. Some extra alpha cannon charges. These respawn, like you can see here. So if you need any extra ammo, not a bad idea to just come here and grab it. It respawns pretty quickly, so... I think that should be enough for a little while. As long as we use these two in conjunction with one another, it'll be good. So, I'll have to swap once I get over there, but that's fine. Alright, so we need this. Let me take care of this guy first. I'm actually going to do this to him, just to get rid of him real quick. Get some extra experience from Pyroblaster. Ow. Okay. Camera, I need you to work with me. Please and thank you. Okay, there's a hell of a lot of them. Hold on, I have an idea. And I haven't used any devices yet, but this is one of those situations where you definitely want to have a device on hand, and the Groovatron just so happens to be the device of choice here. Because it forces everything in the vicinity to dance for 10 seconds. So... you gotta be almost dead, right? Apparently I got him stuck in a bit of a loop, so that's fun. There we go. V5 Pyroblaster, or...
Congratulations! You have upgraded to the Incinerator. Cook your enemies twice as fast with dual streams of intertwining fire.
Yeah, so now you get 2 jets of fire instead of just 1. Gee, Ratchet, how come your mom lets you have 2 jets of fire? But it does significantly more damage because of the extra jet of fire, so it's pretty good. And again, definitely wanted it before we finished out the planet, so probably for the best that we came over here and just guaranteed it, you know, by killing those guys. So, alright, Negotiator, Magnet Launcher, you're the only 2 left, so... I think we already came over here and grabbed this stuff before, but since I'm only at about 2 hours and we're on the final planet, I think I can afford to take a minor pit stop before I go help them with the last cannon. I can even get a little ammo while I'm over here. And you could use the charge boots to get around here as well. It's probably not a bad idea, actually. But, it's fine. I could just use the thruster pack, it works. There we go. Alright, Negotiator, Magnet Launcher. And I believe, if I recall correctly, the last cannon is... we gotta go up to the top here, while Krunk and Zephyr cover the bottom of the area. Sorry, guys. You got a draw fit on your shoe. And that's not a joke. You actually did have a draw fit on your shoe. Do I need any other ammo? Well, since I'm getting... I think that's combustor ammo right there, but since I'm getting that, I can't need any other ammo, so... I'm just gonna break this like this, if it even... Okay, hold on. There. Now I know it's broken. Alright, so let's get this stuff out, get this stuff out. And I think they do a good job with the music in these sections too, in these last few planets, when the when it actually makes sense for the music to go a little more ham. So, all right, and I believe we got to go over here, and yep, there's the other magnet launcher or magma cannon, excuse me. Alright, cool. Well, we got rid of that guy, and we got a whole bunch of Raritanium out of the matter. At this point, we could probably buy every weapon I'm missing and probably buy a decent chunk of the upgrades for them too, but yeah, it's fine. But now that we got rid of the anti-air stuff, we can meet up with Talwyn, and we can go on a little bit of a shooting spree here, so that's my plan anyway. What do I kill these guys with now? I guess Shock Ravager, Lightning Ravager. Just because I'm not using it for much of anything else, and I'd rather save my Negotiator ammo for these guys. Let's see if I can get a little extra EXP for it. Now here's my real question. Okay, so we became the new captain of the pirates when we defeated Slag, right? Where are they right now? Why are they not helping me? I'm the new captain. I need help to not die. Where are they? Like, maybe their programming prevents them from hurting Tachyon, but that doesn't stop them from helping me with the Drawfids and the other Cragmites. What the hell, Tools of Destruction? You just threw that out there and then did nothing with it. Oh, they're probably off getting more grog. What do I know? So are these really not going to respawn until I use the combustor? Okay, well, fair enough. I guess it wants me to use it. Oops. Yeah, now, see, now they'll respawn. Oh, that's just silly. Alright, what are you guys shooting at over here? There we go. Whoop. Hello there. I didn't see you next to your friends. Welcome back, Marie. Yeah, the music has been pretty good on these last couple of planets. I think it was the same composer from the old games did some of the music in this game. I don't know if he did all of it, but he definitely did at least some of it, and it shows in these last few planets, so... You lucked out. You forgot you had some leftovers that need to be consumed. More pasta tomorrow. Might get fancy and make Alfredo to go with shrimp you want to cook. That sounds good. Yeah. That sounds like a really solid dinner for you. Off doing pirate stuff elsewhere, obviously. Yeah, of course. Trying some new stuff since you're jumping back onto the weight loss train. Okay, gotcha. Well, but yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I mean, it's, you know, shrimp is fairly lean from my understanding, so. Just gonna see if I can get this upgraded first. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. Because this I'm not so worried about because it can kill most of the enemies in a single go, but... Should probably at least hit the big guys with one magnet cannon. Magnet. Now I'm getting all these things confused. We should probably hit the big guys with at least one magnet before we, you know, go away. These guys, it just takes them out now, so that's good. Alright. See, that one was good there, guys. I mean, it's you can tell that they're war veterans because even this stuff just doesn't faze them whatsoever.
I'm almost there, guys. I just have to circumvent the encryption safeguard.
Oh, Zip! She's using big words again. Got more ships trying to flank us. Dig in and take them out.
All right. Yeah, we're almost there on the Negotiator. I'm almost dead, but we're almost there. There we are. Now we can use the magnets a little more.
Upgraded to the Judicator. Your weapon has been modified to fire 2 additional rockets.
Yeah, so nothing super fancy. It just fires 3 rockets now, so that's actually significantly good because, well, all those rockets will, of course, do more damage. Now, when you fire them, it also, they shoot off in like a spread, almost like a cone. So it's effectively what the combustor does, except better, because it's rockets, as opposed to just teeny tiny little pellets of ammo that do basically nothing. So, yeah, even the Judicator is dunking on the combustor. That's nuts. Alright, let's get in here a little bit. Okay, friend, you're going to need to stop that right about now. Oh, okay. I see him. Yeah, we're going to be fighting the big ones soon, so definitely save your good ammo. Oh, God. Whoops. That's my bad. Oh, well. We get a good checkpoint here, so. The goal this program set is more realistic than yours, losing 70 pounds as opposed to 110. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can always work up to the 110 after you get to the 70, but 70 is a good goal. This program, Noom, considers shrimp a green food. I've heard of Noom, yeah. Which means you might start buying more shrimp and learning to season it. Encryption safeguard, that shouldn't be too hard to get past. Also, man, everything melts you at this point. Why is Ratchet a glass cannon? Again, I think it's based on the way that damage is dealt in Tools of Destruction. It's percentage-based rather than raw, flat damage. And because it's percentage-based, everything seems like it hits like a garbage truck after a certain point because, well, it does. It hits like a garbage truck because everything kills you in 3 or 4 hits at this point, so... I'm just going to get rid of those little guys because they can be a pain in my ass somewhere else. How about that? Yeah, see the hyper armor that the guy just had there? Even these guys have a little hyper armor. Holy cow. Oh, okay. Let's let him do his thing. Oh. Whoa, hey, ho, ha! And now we got more of these guys. Yeah, we'll just use the magnets because we're almost at V5 for it. Probably after these guys die. Yep, there you go. V5 magnet launcher.
Congratulations. You've upgraded to the magnet cannon. An unstable blasting element has been added to your magnet, assuring that even if enemies make it out, they won't make it far.
I think that just increases the dot, to be honest. I don't know exactly what it does, but I think, to be honest, I think it just increases the dot that it does as it hits you. So it's not more time, it's just more, oh god. Big guy, little guys, big guys. Groovatron? There we go. Now we're good. Let's use the Judicator. Yeah, see, it's got 3 rockets that shoot out in a cone, so... Unfortunately, that guy was stuck behind his, oops, okay, hold on. Stuck behind the, thing there. Oh, I managed to dodge it by side strafing. That's interesting. Usually, I don't get that kind of luck. Oh, we're out. Okay. Yes, let's move. Back to the vendor. Hold on. I'll be right with you. There we go. Yeah, like I said, bolts are really comfy in this game if you only buy the weapons that you want to use. Even if you buy other weapons besides just the ones that you want to use, it's still pretty comfy. I mean, we can, like I said, we can buy basically every weapon at this point, but even with buying just the weapons I want to, as you can see, we only barely managed to scrape by to V5 on everything here, so, yeah. But don't be afraid to use the Groovatron at this point, because it's pretty good. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to finally do? I'm finally going to put a device on my first page. Hold on. We're going to switch this for the Shock Ravager because it has done, the Lightning Ravager that is, it has done hella well for us this entire game, but now it can finally take a rest and we can put, yeah, we'll put the Groovatron right here, that's fine. I kind of feel like I should put it down here because it's the only device on the page. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, I can deal with that, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, I'm finally going to put a device on this page because, well, we don't need experience anymore, so we can afford to have a device on this page now. I was going to say, whenever you want to load the scene game, thought my game froze for a second. Thank you.
The Lombax raised you. How could you do this to them?
Those filthy creatures have a goal to pity me. I spent years building an army large enough to lay waste to this infernal planet.
Where did you even learn that them pitying you was something that triggered you? Like, how does that come about if the Lombaxes are raising you? God. Tachyon, come on, man. See, that was a good scene, right? We were having a discussion. He told us about his motivations. Ratchet had a, how could you do this to that? You could hear the emotion in James Arnold Taylor's voice about that section. He really did help Ratchet come across as this what the fuck dude sort of a comment. And then everything just gets thrown under the bus because Tachyon decides he doesn't know how to drive his car. Like, it's funny the first time, right? It's less funny the second time. By the time you do it the 15th or 16th time in the game, I'm so far over it that I wish I could just take you and throttle you. Come up with a new joke. Sorry. It just bugs me, right? Like, and it probably shouldn't bug me as much as it does, but it just does.
Ratchet, the Court of Azimuth is an old Lombax citadel inside the city. If Tachyon barricades himself inside, we'll need the access key to the force field. I'm heading to the security tower. I'll radio you as soon as I find the key.
Oh, good, I got him. Good. I wasn't sure if that was enough. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, that's one Alpha Cannon charge. Come on now. You kind of vouch for maxing everything in one of these games. Unfortunately, the weapons are kind of the meat and potatoes of this series. Yeah, they do a really solid job with the weapons in basically any of the Ratchet games, so you really can't go wrong. So, it's just, you know. Sometimes you just don't get enough experience to fully max everything, you know. But yeah, usually that's the main draw for me in a lot of cases in this series is the weapons. The weapons always are pretty good. Oh yeah, always ready. Alright, let's blow these up first before we go shoot the Kragmites. This last section here is a big, humongous combat arena. And I actually want to buy a device now. Thank you. Unfortunately, some of the best devices in the game are the cheapest ones. But yeah, as you can see, it's going to be a big combat arena because you got a weapon vendor, an armor vendor, a device vendor, all before you even get in there. So if you need anything else, you should probably grab it now. There is another weapons vendor before the final boss fight up there, but, well, we got to get through this courtyard first. And this courtyard is hell. Trust me, it's hell. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Groovatron and Toxic Swarmers, and that's a good idea, because we got a whole bunch of these guys to deal with, and, well, if I can, just negate their whole problem by making them dance, and it's got a pretty wide AoE, too, the Groovatron does, so, yeah, just use it, it's great. It's a fantastic device. There's a decryption key that I'll have to use in a moment after I almost die in 3 hits here, so you got to be really careful. Because they can and they will kick your ass here, so might even go back to the weapons vendor to refill my nanotech. You won't get that luck in the final boss fight, though, so thankfully you can't abuse that there. I don't even know why I'm collecting these at this point. I don't need them for anything. There's Groovatron Ball, good. Yeah, the Pirate Booty will actually give you, as you've seen across the whole game, the Pirate Booty will actually give you devices if you're running low on them, so there you go. It wasn't funny the first time, what are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. You're almost done getting the mats for 1/3 of what you plan on making. It's been almost 3 hours. This is why people make bots. Making 50 of something complicated sucks. Yeah, I usually make 1 of something, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Okay, let's use my little trick so I can see what we got to do here. So we got to get it over there, and then I got to go down there. Okay, I think I see what I gotta do here. So first things first, I gotta do this. Then I got to follow this down and bring this one all the way around. You could bring it over to that one switch, but it won't power the third switch. So instead of just bringing it straight to the second switch, let's go get the third switch powered first, and that requires us to go around, so we'll go do that. Oh, no, you don't. Alright, and here, let's do this. I think we want to do this, because then it'll hit 2 sections. Yeah, so it'll come back, right? And then you can go like this. And come all the way back around with it. I think I fucked up, but that's okay. We can probably salvage it. Probably. No, I don't think we actually can. I know what I'm supposed to do. I just didn't do it. Oh no, we should still be able to salvage this. Never mind, because I can just bring it back around again. Like this. Then go down here. And then this time we'll go this way. I made this more complicated again. That seems to be a running trend with these decryptor puzzles. Because then you just bring this over here. And re-hitting the button doesn't actually, like, turn it off or anything, so you don't got to worry about that. And then there you go. See? I made it more complicated than it actually is, but there you go. Alright, Magnet, Groovatron. Welcome to hell! How tough are ya? Well, we're gonna find out because the Groovatron is gonna help us a little bit. I kind of hope I make this easier than it actually, like, look easier than it actually is, but I am not confident in that, so. There's guys everywhere in this field, by the way, so. Just try to take out the big guys as best you can, take out the little guys when you get the chance. Oh god. Okay, and again, you die in like 3 to 4 hits, so. Be careful! Alright, there we go. Little guys. I'm gonna go grab Nanotech while I got the chance. I think we might have made it, although once you hit these switches, there's more, but yeah. Okay, that I can do. Make sure you KO all the enemies, of course, or kill all the enemies. I did it again before you turn this, obviously, because, well, they would probably destroy you if you didn't do that, so. Let's just toss this in the middle. Make their job a lot harder.
Okay, slight problem. Tachyon encrypted the force field control matrix. I'll have to manually reroute the power to the gate switches.
Yeah, I could see that being a slight problem, Talwyn. You take care of that while we do everything else. Okay. I was gonna say I'm gonna get hit by that, but I'm not. Oh god, I'm gonna get hit by that though. I need to stop that guy. He is too powerful. Okay, there we go. I got him. Oh, there's another big guy. Oops. Stop hyper armoring and let me kill you. See if I can get a twofer. Not quite. We got that guy. Oh god. Enemies at the end. Enemies behind me. Enemies in front of me. Enemies everywhere. Oh, I'm out of magnets. That's great. Toxic swarmers. Please. Oh, I'm out of alpha cannon too. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. We did it. Whew! That was tough. Now, let's hit the switch. And bring this down. I did mess up and I was still able to salvage it, yeah. Usually we don't get to do that in these situations. You need to make bank to make up for some of the mat costs. You can't afford to only make one. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you gotta make sure you recover what you had there. Okay, so there's a weapons vendor in front of us. There's still a devices and armor vendor behind us. You have a checkpoint here. Before you step up there, make sure you've bought everything you want to buy. Make sure you're at maximum, nanotech and all that stuff. Although there will be opportunities to get, I think there will be opportunities to get more nanotech before you finish this. But That depends on whether or not the enemies that are in this area give any experience to go with it. Here's the final Hollow plan, by the way, in terms of, like, planetary order. So this point right here, after you've completed Hell, is the last, where the last Hollow plan is for the Rhino of this game. So you can't actually use it anywhere except for the final boss fight, unfortunately. Although it looks like we got most of the pieces of the plan. We're only missing, it looks like, 3 pieces, so we didn't do too bad, but yeah, you can only use it on the final boss fight, unfortunately. You do get it for free, however, so as long as you've got all of the plans together. So, I don't know, I guess it's a trade-off, but I don't know. Alright, we're fully stocked. We have 3 Groovatrons. I don't think I'll need 3. I think I only need 1. It's mainly used as a get-out-of-jail-free card for the final boss fight here, but like I said, the main meat and potatoes of the final boss fight is the last 10 to 15 seconds of the last phase. And the rest is pretty simple. At least I find it pretty simple, but again, he kills you in 4 hits, so you gotta be a little careful with it. We'll see what we can do, but yeah, like I said, buy everything you're going to buy before you get here, so. You've sucked down 3 cups of water. Wait, that's not very incentivizing. To use the Rhino only on the final boss fight? Yeah, I would agree. I think I would rather they just have hidden it in the New Game Plus or something in challenge mode, and I mean, I guess it's novel because before you always had to buy it, right? But I don't know. It's good that they used it for different things, but I would have preferred to be able to use it for the entirety of the final planet, right? That would have made it a little bit more interesting, I think, than the way it is. This crafting was so bad, all this to make 17 or 19 Fat Cat sofas. Do people really buy those? I feel like it'd be hard to design around that. Anyway, let's go confront our destiny and face Tachyon. In his only good scene, because they don't try to make him a joke in this one. Yes, they sell daily on your server. Oh my god.
Your race took refuge behind these walls. They believed if they left this dimension, I would leave Polaris unscathed.
But you were too evil.
You're lying. Lombaxes don't run.
Another reason why this scene is so good, most of the talking happens off-screen, so you don't get to see the lip flaps desyncing. But yeah, like, this is a compelling moment, right? Ratchet's race has been gone. We've been trying to find him the whole game. And the villain just gives it to him and says, go. Interesting moment. What do they do with it? Let's find out.
Only 2 stayed behind. The Keeper of the Dimensionator and his infant son.
Angela! Sorry, still got that stuck in my throat.
Destroying your father, Lombax. Pity he sent you to Solana before we could meet. I offer you this one chance.
As you can see, there's still desync going on.
Join your race, or stay and suffer.
So yeah, the villain killed Ratchet's father. I don't know how. Tachyon is incredibly incompetent, but that's a development.
If I leave you with the Dimensionator, no one will be safe. Not the Lombaxes, not my friends. I'm not going anywhere until it's destroyed.
And we've come full circle.
Typical Lombax. So noble, so courageous, and so very dead.
And yes, they do cut him off. Okay, so Tachyon, final boss fight. First phase, pretty simple. Just strafe around. Those little spiders will never hit you if you keep strafing like this, and neither will his lasers. He also keeps trash-talking even when you're hitting him properly this entire time. The first phase ends once you get him down to about 3/4 of his maximum HP, so. We're gonna use the Fusion Bomb and the Nitro Reaper at first, kind of like what we did with Nefarious back in, what's it called? Up Your Arsenal. So. If we use about half of our Toxic Swarmers here, I'm okay with that. We'll need about half of them in the next phase as well. But they're a pretty steady supply of damage, even when I'm strafing and I can't directly hit him. That's about all he does in the first phase, though. Wait, Clank did nothing. Does the portal reopen? I think he just needed Clank for moral support, to be honest, so he could remind him this is why he's doing this. This is why he needs to stay in this universe. And I will give Tachyon one thing.
You were right.
He's only a good villain because by the time the game is over, you just want him to shut the fuck up.
Come on. It's not like one of those hollow films where you think the guy's dead and suddenly...
Oh, but that's exactly what this is.
No. What have you done? You ruined everything.
I think you did that yourself, man.
We are so screwed.
He's right, but only for, again, about 15 seconds of the boss fight. Okay, so the main DPS for this fight, let's get the Toxic Swarmers back out. Let's get out the Incinerator. He'll do that. Stand here. When he throws the meteors, move, and then cook his toes for the rest of the fight. And that's it. I know, you were waiting for a difficult boss fight, I know, but that's it until he's at about 10% of his remaining health. So sorry if you were expecting something more impressive. I might run out of Incinerator, though, before we get to that point. We'll see. I think there's ammo, though, and nanotech around here somewhere. Maybe it's not here the first time. They do that in this game. Like, they'll give you a freebie if you keep dying repeatedly on certain things. So, like, they'll give you nanotech and they'll give you ammo that wasn't there before. So. But I'll see what I can do with just what I've got for now. And yes, he does destroy the things that he just spawned. I don't know why, but it seems like it's all he's a child throwing a temper tantrum. I mean, it's really not that out of the ordinary for a child throwing a temper tantrum to do stupid shit like this, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're out of Toxic Swarmers, so now it's time for the Magnet to do some work. You can Magnet him, but it doesn't work like it normally does, where it normally would prevent him from moving. He'll still be able to move, so. Unfortunately, the Nitro Reaper is really feeling the effects of being an early game weapon because its DPS is just not there for this fight, unfortunately. Even with the Magnet helping it, it's still kind of iffy. Oh, we're out of that too. Okay, so now, well, we definitely want to use this. I kind of want to save my Judicator for later. So I guess we use the Alpha Cannon. Oh, okay. I'll deal with that in a minute. Let's wait for him to stop doing this first. Let me get the Magnet Cannon back out first. Let him do that, and then we'll do the rest once I jump over this next part. Okay, there we go. Well, that sounds like a you problem. Okay, we've entered Pissy Boss mode, so this is the last 15 seconds of the fight. He spawns literally 10,000 missiles that will hit the platform, and, I mean, there's nowhere to run. There is absolutely nowhere to run. Thankfully, they don't explode immediately, but on top of the missiles, you have to deal with this stupid fucking laser that he's shooting, and everything deals 60 damage or so. So that's the end of the fight. Again, that's the only reason why Tachyon is hard, is that last 10 seconds when he spawns 7 bazillion projectiles at you. He turns into a Toho game. So that's fun. The way that you avoid that, by the way, is you throw out a Groovatron when he gets staggered at around 25% of his health, and he'll dance for 10 seconds, and that gives you a chance to Alpha Cannon him into oblivion. I just forgot to do that, and that's why I lost. So, yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Let's get back there. That's it. It's so disappointing it hurts, oh, believe me, I know. The only part about it that's difficult is that last section, unfortunately.
My eyes were closed.
The fusion bomb, by the way, is a good stagger tool for him. He seems to stagger from the fusion bomb more than any other weapon that I can use against him. It even staggers him more than the alpha cannon. Why? I have no idea. Maybe because it's a whole bunch of concussion grenades? I got nothing. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, don't worry about shooting from kind of far away with the Nitro Reaper. You don't want to get much closer because it makes it harder to dodge that laser beam that he's shooting. When you're out here, you're at just the right distance just about to dodge that laser pretty easily. So. And now, yes, as you can see, there's ammo over there, which was not here before. There's also nanotech in the corner, which was not here before, so. Or did we pull a Shulk and change the future somehow, despite Clank doing nothing in that scene? Like I said, I think it's just moral support. You're Thratch on this one. That's disappointing AF. It's so underwhelming, it hurts. Now you understand my pain. Alright, I'm gonna hold off on getting any ammo just yet. Unless he does it for me by breaking the boxes. That seems like a bit of an oversight. But I'll grab what it gave me, so. Let the Toxic Swarmers do their work, and let's cook his toes. But yeah, you definitely want to try to get Incinerator ammo from the ammo boxes here, if possible. So. And you can kill his little spider bots, too, if they somehow survive the explosion there. But, eh. Okay, I'm gonna go get whatever this is. Oh, fusion bombs, okay. Well, it's better than what I had before. You know, I should have Toxic Swarmers out, too, while I'm doing this. So, there we go. Those meteors have a little bit of tracking, too, so, like, if you jump at just the wrong moment, they may, like, follow your jump, so you gotta be just a little careful with them. Like that. That almost went a little poorly. Alright, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. See where he jumps at. Okay. The other... Oh, I got the fuel, incinerator fuel. Okay. So yeah, what you mainly want to do, wait for him to stagger. Once he staggers, that's when you're going to want to throw your Groovatron, because once he comes out of the stagger animation, that's when he's going to go into Pissy Boss mode, and that's it. So, and he will stagger directly out of these animations, too, so... Right there. That's the point right there. That's when you want to toss it. Toss it out as soon as you get the chance. Then throw literally everything in the kitchen sink at him. It doesn't matter what it is. Alpha Cannon, Toxic Swarmers, everything. I don't care what it is. You want this fight over as quickly as possible. So, although I think I might have only done a set amount of damage to him just there. So. Okay. Now, here's how I usually do this. I usually Judicator and side flip. And it works okay, because the thing about it is that by doing what we did there, we avoided the laser that he shoots out while he's normally shooting the missiles. So now the laser has kind of disconnected from the missiles. Now he'll shoot the laser, but, well, there's no missiles to deal with at the same time. So you can just do basically Sora strats from Kingdom Hearts 2 with Sephiroth's meteors, and that's enough, so... Alright. Well, we're getting there. Oh, I'm out of that. Alright, let's get a magnet going. I missed. It's okay, though. And now, cook his toes again. Because he's back to this again. And down he goes. Well, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, the music is good, that's true. The music was good. You can hardly hear it over his screeching, but, you know. Yeah, alright. He's just spouting bullshit. They just wanted to make some reference to other sci-fi shows. Go back to hell where you belong, Tachyon.
It's broken.
Oh, great. I said Tachyon would break it, didn't I? No. You guys did... You guys didn't just do what you just did. No! They put the plumber in the game as a developer stand-in to give me the fix for the plot device that they just introduced. Why would they do that? Oh.
Are you alright?
No. The game just broke me plot-wise.
We are home, Ratchet.
But at least we found home. I mean, we're not on Veldin. But we did find home. You want to be a member of Dread Pirate Ratchet's crew, you gotta learn to yar.
How did you ever become the captain of anything?
That is such a MacGuffin, good lord.
This time, add an inappropriate slur.
You saucy wench.
How does Talwyn always catch people being stupid in this game? Oh, right, because they directed the scenes.
I am Tachyon, Crown Prince of the Craggy Might. Fear me and...
So this is like the mid-credits stuff, right? Like, they normally do this in the middle of the credit roll where they have the characters doing dumb shit, but, I mean, it's fine. They just stuck it before the credits this time. It's okay. It lets them direct the whole scene at once. So, even though the plot device happened, I guess at least all's well that ends well, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
About my father. About my purpose.
I detected no lie in his voice, but I believe your purpose has already been filled. You vanquished Tachyon, something even the Lombaxes could not do.
Thanks, Clank.
And I'm sure they'd be happy for you. If we could find them. Hello?
Don't look at me. You said it was broken.
I mean, I would hope so. Oh, the Zoni are here. Okay. Hi, Zoni. Wait, Ratchet can see them now.
Whoa. Clank. Are these the Zoni?
Clank, you're not answering me.
Let him go.
Ow.
Yes, time to come with you.
What are they, Jedi? What the hell just happened? Did they take away my best friend? After an all's well that ends well scene? As sequel bait? Which you knew was going to happen anyway. No, that's... No, wait a minute, game. Hold on. That's not where you're ending this, right? You cannot be serious with me right now. You're gonna introduce the Zoni are evil at the end of the game? After an all's well that ends well scene that we normally get in the middle of the credits. And then you're just gonna cut! Oh my god. Fuck this game. And that's the game, everybody. Yes, 100% sequel bait scene. They already knew going into this, yes, it's going to be a sequel bait scene. Now, that is a compelling scene, right? And it's interesting that they would intercut it and be like, yes, we're going to set up for sequel bait there. It's just that then they made Quest for Booty in between this and the sequel, and, well, I have a big bone to pick with Quest for Booty, but we'll do that on the next stream. For now, let's pick some bones with this game. While they have... They're playing Groovatron songs over the credits after they just had that compelling scene. Like, what the... Why? It's so inappropriate. Are the Zoni just evil chess masters? We'll find out in the sequel. Why help you at all if they're evil? We'll find out in the sequel. What is their endgame? So many questions that we won't have an answer to until a crack in time. We'll get there. But this game, Tools of Destruction, and no, I'm not playing the sequel. I get that. But yeah, so this game, it has a story that I don't like. So the main gripe that I have with this game, right, is that in a lot of ways it takes steps that I would think would be natural for a Ratchet & Clank game to take when stepping into the new hardware, right? And frankly, I mean, the game is beautiful. It looks like Pixar movies of the time. It's just that most of the time when you want to see that graphical fidelity, it's in the gameplay, and that's where it's good. It is David Bergeot. Okay, he's the original composer from the original games and Deadlocked, so that's who did the music in this game. So there you go. Excuse me. Yeah, so I mean, the game is beautiful, and you can see it in the gameplay, where you get the fantastic feedback loop that you normally get from using weapons in the Ratchet games. And you know, there's the weapon selection, I think, in this game is really solid as well. Like I said, I think it's one of my favorites in the series, frankly, because it feels like the weapons really work well together, and you can use often 2 weapons at once to make fights a lot more easy to deal with. There's a lot of crowd control that you can use, and once you've got all the weapons upgraded, you end up with a decent chunk of devices that you can use for more crowd control. So I think that they all work well together. The only problem I have is that, again, when there's steps forward, there's often steps backward as well. For example, you can't get experience for weapons if they're not out, so you can't use the Toxic Swarmers in combination with anything if you want to upgrade them. You can't, I mean, you can use the Magnet Launcher like that, but it's the only weapon in the game that allows you to do that, where you can throw it on an enemy and then switch to something else after it hits the enemy and use something else because it's already gotten its experience then. In addition to that, in the cutscenes of the game, we've seen significant audio desync from the lines that were being spoken, and that could be due to the graphical fidelity, it could be due to a lack of optimization, it could be due to anything. But those scenes are where your characters and their new high polygon counts are supposed to shine. And they can't do that if their dialogue is 6 seconds behind them in some cases. And when the characters do not have stilted, desynced dialogue, it's in these really weird back and forth conversations that seem to take place in a vacuum, like conversation trees that you'd see in, say, Mass Effect or some other RPG. And it's just lip flaps, right? Like, the characters are just in their idle poses, and they're lip flapping back and forth, and it's like, no. Okay, listen to me. The series already had those idle chatter conversations down to a T with the original trilogy because they had the situations where Ratchet and Clank were talking to characters in the universe and there wasn't any music and they were just bantering back and forth, but they were expressive. All of the characters did more than just lip flap. They pointed at each other, they laughed, they cried, they did a whole range of expressive body movements and emotions. You had that down. Why would you change it if it's not broken? And then, I mean, again, the music is pretty good. I really don't have too much to say about the music, to be honest. David Bergeot's a pretty fantastic composer, so that's probably the most steady section of the game is the music. And then you've got this new story going on with the game, and again, they hired new writers to do the story of this one. And you can tell that they really took a huge amount of inspiration from Up Your Arsenal, like I've been saying this whole time, and that they wanted to take the series in more of a played straight direction. They didn't want it to be so sardonic, they didn't want it to be so critical of capitalism, although it is still sarcastic and sardonic and critical of capitalism in some cases. But the villain is played more straight and Ratchet is played more straight. You're moving the characters away from their origins, where they were more sarcastic like that and more satirical and critical of certain things in society and in the economy. And that's fine. I think that Ratchet and Clank are versatile enough of characters for you to tell those sorts of stories, and they can be told in a number of different stories, and I don't want them to feel like they're caught in a trap where they have this gigantic, vast universe that Ratchet and Clank can go explore in whatever games they want, and they feel like they can't do that because they always have to be satire first, you know? So I'm not going to be the guy that tells you, no, it's bad because it's not the same as it was before. I would prefer the way that it was before because I think it did a better job of storytelling and character development than it does here, but I'm not going to tell you it's bad. Where I will take umbrage with it is the fact that they constantly reference the older games while also deleting lore willy-nilly because they forgot about it or whatever the fuck their excuse is. And there's just so many situations in this game where it feels like the characters have to behave out of character for the plot to move forward, or the characters don't get proper development where they should get development. And the problem is that continues going forward in the future series. In just the next game, any development that... I'm going to spoil this now because I don't think it's that big of a deal, but in just the next game, in Quest for Booty, any development that the pirates got in this game where they were like, okay, so you're the new captain, here's your cool shit. Again, they don't help you at the end of the game, so that really means nothing, kind of a bad thing to throw into your plot if you're going to be the new captain. They're not going to help you with your all-out assault on their old master who abandoned them for dead. They have plenty of motivation here, Insomniac. What the fuck is wrong with you? But they're going to lose all that character development in the next game. Any amount that they got in this game is going to be gone by the end of Quest for Booty because they wanted to tell a story about pirates in that game. And of course, if they're telling a story about pirates, the pirates have to be the bad guy. So Tools of Destruction is like being on a torture rack. It's pulling me in different directions at all times, and I want to like it desperately. But every time I find something that I enjoy, there's a glitch, there's jank, there's audio desync, there's bad character development, there's poor storytelling, there's weapons not working the way that they probably should work, there's phantom range on bullets, there's enemies killing you in 4 hits, but that part, honestly, that last part I'm not as big about. If the enemies kill you in 4 hits, it's fine. I mean, you died in 5 hits at the end of Up Your Arsenal, even with some of the best armor in the game anyway, so, I mean, they're just referencing Up Your Arsenal at that point, so whatever, but yeah, I don't know, it feels like it misses the mark in a lot of cases. Like, it tries to hit the high that Up Your Arsenal hit, but in the process of doing so, it uses a villain that's derivative of Dr. Nefarious, and frankly does a worse job than Nefarious did in Up Your Arsenal in every single way. Tachyon is one of my least favorite villains in the series because of his incompetence for 80% of the game. He only has one good scene, and every other time you just want him to shut the fuck up. So it tries to hit those highs, and it tries to hit the highs from Going Commando's Thugs for Less, because they were a fan favorite, and I don't know, I just don't think the pirates were as interesting of characters as the Thugs for Less people, because it just feels derivative, right? It feels like a lot of the stuff they did in this were derivative, and I mean, that's fine if you want to play it safe with your sequel, but it's Ratchet & Clank. People will buy this shit. You don't need to play it safe. You can continue to push the envelope. You know what I mean? So it's pulling me in 2 different directions. So it's all right. I see the good. I see the bad. It balances out about evenly for me. But I'm glad it's over with because I don't think I would ever go back and play this game. And it makes me recall now why I didn't really... I always skip to A Crack in Time when I played through the Future series again. Like, I've played A Crack in Time probably 3 times. I've only played this one and all the others once. So, yeah, it reminded me of why. There is potential here, but I feel like a lot of it is lost, unfortunately. And that's just a shame, because they had a good thing going with this series, and it feels like they hit a big misstep here in some ways. Let me read what I saw in chat here. Hang on. You're buying fleece in New Gridania. The sheep are being contested again. Assert your dominance. Hunt all the sheep. I get why the sheep are always contested now. There's a character farming them, and it's probably their retainer reselling all the fleece, and the retainer is named Fleece Fender. Really? Yes, really. Wow. Oh, that's funny. I think you can get fleeced from retainer ventures now that I think about it. Check your retainers. I think your combat retainers can get you some fleece in like a 1-hour excursion. It's not a lot, granted, but at least it saves you a little bit of extra. So, yeah, that's the only thing, right? Is it's not fast enough. Yeah, 1 hour for like 5. Yeah, that's the only problem. So you can go into challenge mode at the end of Tools of Destruction, just like any other Ratchet game, except for Quest for Booty. It doesn't have challenge mode as far as I'm aware. But I think I'm just going to leave it here because I don't feel like time warping back to before I fought Tachyon, because I don't feel like doing pissy boss mode again. My controller turned off. Wow. And I don't feel like starting challenge mode. I feel like putting this game to bed forever. So that's going to do it for Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction, the Stream Edition, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the stream so far. This is the first of the tetralogy that we'll be playing. And we'll be starting the second game in the tetralogy, Quest for Booty, on the next stream, which will be happening early next week at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I may actually do a 4-stream week next week instead of 3 streams, because if I do a 4-stream week, and A Crack in Time is about as long as this game, so I should be able to get it done in about 5 streams. If I do that and I get Quest for Booty done in 1 stream, which I anticipated being a 1-stream project, I should be able to finish A Crack in Time before I get my wisdom teeth out, because that's on the 26th of October. So we'll see what I plan on doing. I'm going to be posting the schedule up on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and YouTube after I get the description done and everything for this video. But yeah, that's going to do it for this first stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm complaining a lot about the game, but I complain because I see the potential, and I genuinely do enjoy basically every Ratchet & Clank game I play. It's just that when they don't quite hit the mark, and they miss their potential in some cases, it just upsets me, because this is still one of my favorite game series, and frankly, it's one of my favorite duos in gaming. So, yeah, I complain because I love. So, that's how that goes. And we'll be starting the second game in the tetralogy next week. So, until I see you there, or wherever I see you next around the internet, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube. Check out the stream, check out the schedule. Once I'm done making it for next week, we might be back for 4 streams next week, like I said. But, until next time, everybody, take care, and have a good one. Matter of fact, instead of doing this, how about... well, no, I was going to actually go back to the PS3 XMB screen, the main menu on the PS3, and let that play out, but yeah, it's fine. We'll just leave it here, because the silence is golden at this point. I don't have to listen to Tachyon yelling at me anymore. The small man with the very small brain and the incompetence complex is gone. My therapist will be happy about that one.